People really like the cold opens.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
You got positive reception?
The numbers are just flying.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good.
It's only when we talk about The Bachelorette.
That's true. Yeah, I don't think that it's the fact that we're doing a cold open. I think is the content of the cold open.
I mean,
if I had to guess.
I could yank some more takes out of my butt for Bachelorette.
The question is for the Denzel episodes.
Probably not.
Do we have a cold open?
We should probably keep it tighter.
or maybe the cold open is about the movie. This movie reminded me of Highest to Lowest in a way.
But
like both Spike Lee made them both.
Well,
Denzel's in that one too.
I could kind of feel like he was trying to recapture the energy of this movie a little bit with Highest to Lowest. I was like, the musical
this
aspect explains,
Yeah.
This explains a lot of the wonkiness of Highest to Lowest.
His filmography is so fucking cool because
Spikes?
like his blank check done him no. That's
so.
Crazy.
We got him beat right now. Suck it, Sims.
Yeah.
It's just he's
Eat
the perfect.
shit.
He has so many instant classic all time Mount Rushmore movies, and then some of the worst dog shit like of all time.
Yeah.
Like have you guys seen his Old Boy? I kind of want to watch it.
No, I haven't. It's always been, Spike is one of those directors that like I really admire, but I think I've only seen about half of his work.
He has a lot.
For a while there, he was like putting them out every other year.
When he first started, it was just like once or twice a year. It was like a New York hangout movie starring like all the same people. You know what I mean? And they were all pretty cool.
Well, this is 90 and Do the Right Thing was 89. So it was quick succession.
Yeah.
I'm
tough to follow up Do the Right Thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, when he was making it, was he even seeing the success from Do the Right Thing at that time?
Good question. I have no idea.
I mean, I think he had to have, at least to a certain extent, because Do the Right Thing came out, it wasn't Sundance, but it was some festival, I think is where it like started. And like immediately people are like, oh my God, this is incredible. And that would have been even before theatrically it was released. So maybe while they were making this movie, but that's a good question about like, what was the timeline like of filming this in comparison to everything?
Everybody, and welcome back to another episode of We Bought a Mic, a podcast about Denzel Washington and our series Mike on Fire. Today we're talking about Mo Better Blues, a Spike Lee joint, a jazz joint. Is that how it's marketed? I feel like that's appropriate.
It's not.
JJ.
Yeah. I think it's called a jazz club. I don't think it's just called that if you're looking for the correct vernacular, but you can call it a jazz joint. It's a jazz joint.
My name's Ernest.
My queen, my slice of pie, the apple of my eye, my chicken thigh, extra spicy, ham, spam, eggs and bacon, chicken and waffles from Wilson's. How you doing, baby? You're looking good to me. My name is Hunter.
And I'm Drew.
Yeah. Drew, you have one too?
Nope, not. I don't think there's a single. Did John Turturro have any good ones?
He does. He's very good in this.
He does have some good ones.
And please welcome back to the show, Adam Donato. How you doing, man?
Hello. I'm doing great. I'm happy to be talking about Spike, obviously repping some New York Knicks for Spike Lee.
Yeah, so we didn't coordinate beforehand.
Not at all.
We just we're coming in here and we're like, we're going to be both sides of Do the Right Thing right now. There's no way to tell like which one of us is like comes out as like the better person.
For the audio listeners, they should jump on the visual version of the podcast. Hunter is wearing a Boston Celtics jersey. Adam's
Tatum,
wearing a New York Knicks jersey. The Knicks not as represented as the Mets in the film, I believe, from just a visual. I know they talk more about the Knicks than, do they even mention the Mets?
Yes,
you just see the paraphernalia.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in the beginning, in the flashback, Giant and I believe one of the other kids is wearing Mets stuff, which makes sense because the flashback was in '69.
Yeah.
That's when they won the World Series, their first time. And then later on, when Giant is making the bets, he talks about the Mets not having enough black representation, and that's why they're going to lose a doubleheader. So pretty anti-Met sentiments in this movie.
So you already
and that feels like the most New York part of the movie. That way.
You already seeded two corners that we're going to have to loop back on. You seeded a sports corner and a gambling degenerate corner.
Yeah.
So we already have two pins on the board that we'll have to make sure we touch on, because as soon as I saw Spike Lee's character going deeper into the hole, I was like, all right, Hunter is going to have some thoughts on
Yeah, you saw me like getting locked out of Kalshi because they said, sir, you cannot make any more bets now. Our windows have closed.
We're so happy to have you back, man. We had you on for Born on the 4th of July during our last series.
Very similar movie.
An Oliver Stone film starring Tom Cruise. Ended up being one of my favorites of that series. Probably my favorite like new watch of the series.
It was just a surprise of a movie. It's super interesting. It doesn't tackle the situation how you would imagine, unless you know Oliver Stone very well. You know,
and I was so good at talking about it too.
Yeah.
Were you on?
What was weird is that Flava Flav also did the intro for Born on the 4th of July, just like he did for this movie too. So that's a nice little parallel tying the two movies together.
I love that opening. That was so great.
That's good.
The old
It
school
took me
logo.
a second, and I couldn't quite place the voice, and they just like Flava Flav, baby, and I was like, okay, there he is. Thank you for telling us, Flava Flav.
So now we're here with Mo Better Blues. This is the second film of our series. We opened with Glory. We covered, some of the pre-Glory stuff on that episode. I think this is the very next film, or maybe Heart Condition we skip.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
You got to look up the plot synopsis of that movie if you get a chance.
I can imagine.
It is. It sounds so demeaning that Denzel would have to do that.
Yeah, this is pretty much the follow-up that he has here. Yeah. This is 1990. Denzel Washington plays Bleek Gilliam, a trumpet player, jazz trumpet musician. And it is a Spike Lee film, written, produced, and directed.
Co-starring.
Yes, he is the aforementioned giant. And this is Spike's follow-up to Do the Right Thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bit of a convergence here. Spike, already a known entity. Denzel, an Oscar winner coming off of Glory. And here they are meeting at it might not be the peak, because we are going to talk about Malcolm X in a couple episodes, but what seems to be the beginning of some kind of peak. But before we actually get into the movie, I just want to hear some overall thoughts from you, Adam, on Denzel. Like, you had a bunch of movies to pick from when I sent out the call of the series. What's your overall take on Denzel? Why did you pick this movie?
Oh, I love Denzel. He's awesome. One of the coolest cats in cinema. I'm a big fan of obviously his two huge hits, Training Day and Remember the Titans. I didn't want to select those.
Everyone else did.
Because everyone else did.
Very fought over.
That shows our age group right there. Is that everybody fighting over that era of Denzel?
Well, that's the thing, because I want to watch everything. So I was like, I will do whatever no one else wants to do. So this is my first time watching this movie. One thing I'd love to share about my experience watching this for the first time, I sent you a picture of this. I have a Spike Lee joint collection. That's like 5 Spike Lee movies, physical media, and one collector's thing. So I threw it on. And I love physical media. I just want to say that up front.
You're talking my fucking language. Criterion flash sale just ended.
Everyone was really wondering.
Spent way too much money.
What 5 movies are we talking?
Crooklyn,
Nice.
Clockers.
Nice. So it's like back then mostly, like it's
Yeah.
like 90s, late 90s.
Do the Right Thing, and I believe Jungle Fever is also in there.
Oh, that's cool.
But I was upset because I'm like 5 minutes into the movie and it skipped just a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a DVD.
He's talking to his mom, and then it skipped to him playing in the the band, and I was like, all right, whatever. Like, and then another scene happened like an hour in, and it skipped me like 10 minutes, and I was like, I can't do this.
No, physical media failed.
Physical media dead in a fucking ditch.
DVD quality is getting kind of rough these days. Some of the DVDs, especially, I'm not disparaging you, but the way that you keep DVDs, they don't necessarily hold the best. I'm not saying you specifically. I'm saying just in general, DVDs as a medium.
He's clearly never gotten it out before. If he hasn't watched the movie, what do you think that he did?
I will say I didn't buy it new. It was a used.
See, there you go. That's what I figured, that they didn't just put out in like 2024 a DVD collection. You're like, oh, sweet. Who needs the 4K? Like, they got DVD right here.
Well, I wish they would. I love DVDs.
I got it for Do the Right Thing specifically, and all the rest of it was just a bonus. And so when this happened, I was like, oh, great. I have it already.
So did you have to pay like the $3 to rent it or whatever?
On Fandango at home, it was $15 to buy. So instead, I picked up a bottle of rum, and my parent put it on my shoulder and yo ho ho. Yeah. So I got there. I watched the whole movie.
And you went to Walmart and stole it wearing that.
But yeah, of course I left it to the day before. So it's like late last night and I'm like, do you know a site? Do you know anything that I could find this on?
Yeah. I didn't vet this hard enough because I rented it for like $3.99.
Same.
But I did like the boomer thing where I literally just said the movie name into the remote and had it pop up my options. But the problem was, I think it wasn't like, oh, do you want to rent for $3.99 on Amazon or on this or on that? It just was like via the TV rented. And so it was
LG original films.
it wasn't the best stream.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was about every 30 seconds it would pause like a microsecond, and it wasn't bothering my.
There'd be like a gambling ad.
I was losing my I was losing my fucking mind. But still.
So you're like pacing a nightmare in this movie. Every 30 seconds, a little subtle pause. Why do you choose to do that?
I mean, so this movie isn't, there are a lot of things like going against the reputation in this movie. Like you said, like this is Denzel right after Oscar. It's Spike right after making like one of the best movies of all time. And this is not regarded in that light. And it, obviously I don't think it should be. It's like, it's not as good, but if it had come independent of all of that, context, I think it would probably be remembered more positively. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. It's so interesting that, and it almost like hurts. I feel like this phase of Spike Lee that he came out with such a rocket ship. And I know that Do the Right Thing wasn't his first film that he put out, but like whenever you put out a movie that is that like regarded immediately at the time of like, this is an all-time classic. Like I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Ebert like put that on his best of the 80s list. Like
Do the Right Thing.
Yeah, Do the Right Thing. Like within a year of it coming out, like he's like, I'm cementing it. This is a classic right now. That's, you haven't had a chance as a filmmaker to kind of work through your lumps a little bit. And this feels like a master who's kind of working through it a little bit. Now, with that being said, the highs of this movie are incredible. The way that this movie looks is fucking phenomenal.
It's a Spike Lee movie.
Yeah, I mean,
the way that it looks is amazing. The way
it's
that it sounds,
Ernest Dickerson.
Yeah, and it's peak them two like fucking around.
Right.
Yeah.
Like doing like crazy shit with the camera.
The double dollies, which we're going to talk about the use of them in this movie, is like some of my favorite work of the double dolly sex scene that happens is so fucking sick.
Yeah, when it's
so cool.
spinning really fast.
The score and the use of the jazz that's just like playing pretty much nonstop throughout the entire movie is amazing. It's so cool, but there's a lot of pacing issues. Like this movie it's like 20 minutes too long. We'll talk about the ending. The ending, both Guy and I watched this together, and the ending like loses half a star just on the overall quality of the movie because
what
it
the
makes
montage quality of it?
No, well, what
or just
leads
the
us
actual
to-
events.
Yeah, he's talking about before that probably,
okay.
right?
Yes,
Like not
yeah.
the very ending. The very ending it just feels rushed. You're like,
Well,
damn, that's something.
I guess we can
give me a little more.
Yeah, we'll talk about whenever we get to
Yeah,
it, about the choice that they kind of make in the screenwriting to get to that point. But I still like really enjoyed this movie.
So I'll just throw out a couple data points here. It came out August 3rd, 1990. Universal Pictures. It had a budget of $10 million and made $16 million.
Yeah.
So a solid little profit
It's an indie
there.
hit. Yep.
I mean, I guess,
Well, not
he was
indie.
coming off of Do the Right Thing, which, by the way, Ebert did have it at number 4 for the decade,
That's right.
behind number 1, Raging Bull, number 2, The Right Stuff. Okay, Raj.
Okay.
And number 3, E.T. And then at 5, he put My Dinner with Andre.
Yeah.
I love this movie. I think this is in some ways an improvement over Glory, but weirdly kind of an odd use of Denzel. And I'm thinking about like the specifics of how to unpack that, because I do appreciate the sensual charm that he brings to this role, but he doesn't get a big scene to really flex the Denzel. I guess the one is the quote that you did, the rap.
Yeah.
That's like the closest thing that we get. But he's kind of playing this subdued guy who is prioritizing his music over his relationships and takes his music very seriously. But you don't really get these moments to really pop off too much.
Yeah.
I think the Spike character kind of gets more moments to pop off weirdly. So ultimately, I really did enjoy it. You guys are all calling out the right things, like the look and the feel of it. There are some issues, but I ended up really enjoying the movie. And I think that even if this movie is far from perfect, I think this might be one that I kind of revisit and go back to. It was my first time seeing it, so I'm still trying to process it. But there's a certain quality about it that it's like, okay, this is not a very challenging and demanding movie. It's a cool hang. It's a cool vibe. I could see myself like kind of putting this into a bit of a rotation. So I'm curious what you think, Adam, if you want to give us your overall thoughts.
Yeah, because it runs at about 2 hours and 17 minutes, I believe.
Yeah.
So it does feel
130 minutes. That's like a little over 2 hours.
210.
Yeah. So it does feel like it's running a little bit long, but I also like, I'm not a TV show guy, but I feel like there's so much more there. Like you said, the plot very much so surrounds Giant's character and his whole like betting, getting in deep with the sharks, that whole business. And I just feel like I was way more interested in kind of the love triangle thing with Wesley 100%. Snipes and his girlfriend.
Oh, Snipes is so good in this.
Yeah.
Great use of Snipes.
He's like, the second you see him, you're like, well, if you didn't know, you'd be like, who the fuck is that guy? Like, he's almost like mocking Denzel. Yeah. He looks so cool.
I mean, he is on stage with the sax. It's sax v trumpet.
Yeah.
Denzel brutally sax mogged by.
This is the same year of King of New York as King of New York. So big year for Snipes.
Yeah, he rules. I mean, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I don't know, structurally, it's just a weird movie. It almost reminds me kind of what we were saying about The Secret Agent, where like the first like half of it, we're mostly just vibing and not a ton is happening. And you get to settle into the groove and like, enjoy just the scenery. But then the amount of plot that is crammed into the end, you're kind of like, well, that now it just feels like our time was just used a little bit wonky, right? If you wanted to get through all that plot, maybe we could have just spread it out more and it could breathe a little better.
Yeah, it's weird because I think that like to the point that you made, Ernest, about is this the best use of Denzel? Denzel's character is like deeply unlikable throughout this entire movie. Yeah. Like he's just a shitty dude, and I don't know. Like, I feel like there's a layer that Spike gets to with Denzel in later movies where Denzel can do questionable things, but he has the Marty Supreme thing where he just kind of like smiles a little bit and you're like, all right, now you've got me back in. And like, there's not quite enough of that. Honestly, he has more chemistry with Spike on screen than he does with either of the women that are in this movie. Like I don't know if you guys felt the same way, but it's one of those things where I found the love triangle to be the most interesting piece, but also like you can't have the thing that makes him a redemptive character be with the Giant character and like, well, he stands up for him the one time and then he gets his ass beat for it as like, okay, well, no, he deserves to like have a good life and have people love him now that he's just been like an asshole to and betrayed their trust over and over again.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like lesson wise, it ends up in a weird spot. You know what I mean? Like you don't necessarily know exactly what you're supposed to take away. I mean, Spike in general, especially early in his career, like had like, he wrote like some strange views on like relationships into all of his scripts. There's strange stuff going on.
Jungle Fever. Have you guys seen Jungle Fever?
No,
that one's odd.
There's just a lot of like
you can read some behind the scenes with like she's got to have it even stuff like that. Like
it's sort of just like to that audience back then, it's sort of just like inherent. Like this guy like just fucks a lot and he's cool as hell and you like him, right? You know what I mean? Like there's not like a doubt built into like whether or not you're supposed to be in on this guy. And to his credit, Denzel, you do like him. You like the guy. We know Denzel is someone who is better than anything. He is known for being incredible at high intensity roles, like popping off, like having like the fire in his eyes. I really enjoyed him in this role though. Like, it might not be what we know him to be best at, but a different flavor. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's an understated character in general. It's not like the role was asking him to do that and he didn't do it. It's just not like written into this part.
Well, I think to that point, the best part of it, like of channeling that exact level, is the musician part, because it's just like the hyper intensive, like I just want to be the fucking best at this one craft thing, and he's just like sitting there, or whenever he's up there on stage, like he's so fucking locked in. It's like, okay, well, this is why you have Denzel for this part.
The double dolly shot where he's the room is just spinning around him and he's mouthing the trumpet. Yeah, go ahead, Adam.
Oh, I was just gonna say the direction of the story really confused me, because obviously the whole point is he's obsessed with becoming the best jazz singer. He's having a hard time committing to his relationships because he's so focused on being a jazz singer. So jazz player. Sorry, but
he does sing a little bit.
The love song,
the rap, it's tough.
I thought it was fun. I liked it. I'm like, this is just what music was back in 1990. I don't know.
Well, I thought it was gonna be more like a Sound of Metal thing, where it's like, well, what happens if you've dedicated your entire life to this art form and now you cannot do it anymore?
Yeah, again, that just happens so late.
Right.
It happens. It's such an interesting thing to happen to this guy, and it happens at the fucking end.
You kind of perk up
really
and you're
weird.
like, oh, is that what this movie's about? And it's like, no.
Well, and so, it's like a live by the spike, die by the spike thing, because he, back then he's writing all his shit. He wasn't a hired gun yet. And so his scripts were his scripts. Do the Right Thing just happens to have the best of both worlds. Like, it has the hangout quality, and there's like a ton of time spent just like soaking in this world of like overheating New York, but then also it has a really fucking compelling story that carries like all the way through it, and it just feels a lot more natural, like flow wise. This just feels a little more stilted is all. Like it doesn't like destroy the movie, and it's not fair to keep comparing it to Do the Right Thing, but I mean that's what I was doing when I was watching it, because it looks very similar. Like it's the same location shooting, a lot of the same insane camera tricks, but I think the script is, I think that's the only thing you could point to that is just like worse, like markedly worse. Everything else is great. The performances are great. The direction is great. Cinematography is great. It's just the script is a little bit off.
It's scattered.
Because it does the same thing that Spike always does, where it has a ton of like pretty improv heavy sequences where he's just filming like a big group of people talking and they're just kind of going off the cuff. And those sequences are fucking awesome. But in this movie, those feel a little bit more improv-y, and then the written stuff feels a little bit more written. And it's a little jarring to go from one of those to the other, where it's like it's a bunch of Jews just yapping, and then the very next scene is someone being like, Denzel, you have to make a choice. You can't choose, where they're just like saying the theme like out loud. It's a weird bipolar thing.
One of my notes that I put in here is that there's multiple scenes where it feels like a play, like especially the opening, where it's just like all the kids, they're like coming up on the neighborhood.
I love that opening.
Like that. It's a great opening. It's
really cool.
But it literally feels like I can just like see like a stage production of everybody just being like, come on, come outside, kid, let's play ball. Like that. And it's
a lot of his old movies felt like that.
Overwritten, but in like kind of a charming way at times. Like I never found this movie to be overwritten with the dialogue per se. It's a little bit too ambitious with how many different plot threads we want to stuff into this one narrative.
I don't want to derail things too much. But Adam, you have one of my favorite Letterboxd accounts.
Really?
To follow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You
put so much effort.
You crank it out.
So what? First of all, what is your rating system? Like, you only give things certain ratings, right?
Oh, this is true. Okay, I don't do half stars.
Yeah.
Because I hate those like crappy pizza reviews that douchebag does. The Barstool guy, he'll be like, this pizza's like a 7.21.
So you don't fuck with like Silent Dawn on I hate that guy.
because my relationship with the movie is going to change and evolve over time. You know what I mean? So if I can move a movie from a 4 to a 5 or something like that, then imagine how flippant it would be if you had like the half stars. So like for me, it's a lot larger. Like 5 means I love this. Like there's a lot of dog shit on my Letterboxd that I've given 5 stars to. I'm well
The Flash, famously.
Oh yeah, Tom Cruise loves that movie. But
I think he was lying about that.
He never lies. But like and then 4 is it's really good. 3 is it's all right. 2 is two's okay, one's bad, 0, this offended me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like usually though I'm seeing from you like a 5 or like a 1 or a 3, right? So
Yeah.
a 4 for this one interested me. So like what? So it's just like good, not great, basically.
Well, my biggest thing is you guys were talking about the writing and the Spike Lee. I know that this wasn't until later in his career that he won his Oscar for writing specifically. And obviously, that was a very controversial Oscars. He probably should have won picture. He probably should have won director as well. I don't know. Quaron. I don't think anyone's mad that Quaron took home the award.
No,
Talking about Black
Roma.
Klansman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine with Roma.
Yeah.
Do the right
Green
thing.
Book, I have other thoughts on. Oh, well, if we're going back, he never had a shot for
Oh,
89.
Driving Miss
I know
Daisy.
that,
Who remembers
but,
that? Yeah.
But Green Book that's a travesty.
Yeah, but my thing is with him as a filmmaker, I think where he's the best, I think he's a fine actor. I think his directing is what he's best at, is his rhythm, his personality, his visual style. I think that's what he's best at. And I think he is a good writer, but I think more in like the dialogue. The dialogue feels very natural. It flows very well. You guys were talking about the scenes where they're all hanging out together. These are the best scenes in the movie, at least to me.
In the dressing room and everything like that. Like that's just the way that
exact
they're
scene I'm
playing off
talking
each
about,
other is so good. It's so good.
Yeah, it's so fun. And I think the biggest problem with these movies is the plot isn't necessarily the most buttoned up thing in them. That's why Do the Right Thing, great movie. We're just hanging out.
Yeah.
Nothing really happens until the end.
But it's still a very politically charged movie in a way that this one is not.
It just like intention is building. Like it's you're right though. Like pacing wise, it is just a lot of hanging out, but like you feel an energy rising.
Yeah.
And this one is a lot more of like a crazy line graph, like energy wise. It's hard to trace what's going on.
But I think that, he obviously went on to make a lot of different kinds of movies. I haven't seen nearly enough of them, but they're not all just him trying to Do the Right Thing.
No.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe people might ding this one because it is the follow-up. And like you said, there are so many similarities to it that you're thinking, okay, why isn't it capturing that same energy and vibe? And I don't think it was necessarily going for that. I think that the fact that it is trying to just be this story about this musician is the thing that he's interested in the most about it. I was reading just in the Wikipedia that he wrote the script while working on Do the Right Thing. It took him just 15 days to write the first draft. And the nickname Bleek is the same nickname that his father had. And his father actually composed the score for the film. So there must be a lot of personal, maybe not autobiographical stuff, but at least like personal experience being put into the story in a way that probably Do the Right Thing also was. But you're kind of swerving away from the, the hottest day in summer, bubbling everything up, to just like, let's tell this one guy's life in a way that's like focused on just his music and his inability to hold a relationship.
The thing is like the meat of the movie, like beginning to middle and then end, the meat of the movie is focused on that, but we're introduced to so much more shit than that. Like if we just run through,
the Spike Lee character is the whole half of the movie.
Well, and the ensemble in general is humongous. It's like a giant cast of people that like have significant parts in the movie. You know what I mean? Like it's all through Bleek that we meet them all, but it's just a ton of shit to pack into the one script. Because we get the band where he has a tension with Wesley Snipes' character.
Giancarlo's in here.
Giancarlo Esposito, who is
piano player.
By the way, unreal names in this movie, like just like fucking incredible names. Obviously, you got Bleek as the main protagonist, Bleek Gilliam. Shadow Henderson
is great.
Wesley Snipes. Giancarlo is Left Hand Lacey,
who evolves a lot, like physically. His looks are just all over the place.
Dude,
I mean, it's because this French bitch.
His fits are deranged. Like, I don't know.
The first fit is the best.
It's because she's changing him. It's very funny.
He literally has a monocle at one point, and I was like, he's also monocle. Like,
he's also really well cast in that role because he is such a theater actor. Like he's still, even going into Breaking Bad, he speaks with like in like fucking iambic pentameter, almost a little too much sometimes. It's like, okay, we're not like on stage right now. And so like him in that exact part where he's the guy getting razzed on by everyone makes so much sense. Because like it doesn't feel like he fits in with like, a bunch of like shit talkers.
Right.
So yeah, that all works. The other two guys I think are just musicians. No.
Bill Nunn.
Well,
Bill
Bill Nunn plays
as Bottom Hammer.
Bottom Hammer. real heads obviously know him as Radio Raheem in Do the Right Thing.
Yeah.
But real heads know him as Robbie Robertson in the Raimi Spider-Man films.
There you go. Yeah.
I did the point at the screen Leo meme. I was like, oh my God, that's Robbie Robertson. Because Radio Raheem, like, you're not really seeing him that much. You're hearing him.
Yes. But I mean, that is what our generation knows it from. You know what I did that for is when Charlie Murphy came on the screen. I was like, holy shit, that's Charlie Murphy from Dave Chappelle Show.
Yeah.
Like, I lost my mind over it. So I was like, it's the Prince sketch. It's from the Prince sketch. It's Chappelle Show.
The same thing happens every single time I see him, which is like, oh, that looks like Eddie Murphy. Oh, it's Charlie Murphy.
I straight up thought it was Eddie Murphy for a second. And I was like, wait, the math doesn't quite
yeah, Eddie Murphy's like the hottest thing in the world. And he's like, I think
a door guy.
Like 2 scenes as a door guy in a Spike Lee movie.
Also, Samuel L. Jackson is one of the goons that goes up to try to kill.
Yeah,
Spike
again,
Lee.
I mean, it's just a huge cast. So there's the band, there's the 2.
Oh,
women.
we have to mention the last person in the band was Jeff Tane Watts as Rhythm Jones. So again, we got Bleak, Shadow, Left Hand, Bottom Hammer, and Rhythm Jones.
And when they're each introduced while they're playing their show, they each get crazy hero shots that are like on insane camera rigs where it just like swoops up on their whole body.
All those stage
crazy
the
shit.
the stage sequences and just all the sequences in that club are glistening. Yeah, like I just felt like I was there. Very, very immersive, very well done.
I do got to ask you guys as basketball people. So like Wesley Snipes Shadow, are we getting like 2016 Russ vibes out there from him? Like, or maybe it's like actually earlier than that. It's like Russ on the Thunder when Katie's still there. Katie's just like, I think I got to get out of here. Like, I'm never, I want to fucking play. And he just keeps holding on to the fucking ball.
Well, I guess we're not qualified enough to know, like, what if he is better than Bleek?
Saxophone and trumpet are 2 completely different
I know, but I'm saying, what if he's like a better composer? We don't know.
He is incredible on there. Like, there's no doubt about the talent, but like, it's just also, you know, he's not playing as part of the band.
No, that's fair. And, you know, in the playoffs, he might just fall apart.
Yeah. Well,
I do like what you brought up about the names, because I feel like obviously it says a lot about Giant. That's pretty clear. You know, he's a little guy, but little guys usually have that like small guy complexity. And then
I bring it on this podcast every day.
Facts.
And then Shadow obviously feels like he's in Bleak's shadow. And then Bleek, I don't know. I felt like you were asking me why I only give it like a 4, because I really dug this movie. I really enjoyed watching this movie. I really didn't like the ending. Obviously, we'll expand upon it later. I just felt like it was unearned, and I felt like it was a bleak outlook, because it seems like his hyper fixation on becoming the best jazz player he can be kind of ruined his life. And at the end, he's like, nah, but I'm going to do it just the same way.
Have a good life.
My kid's going to do it just like how I'm going to do it.
Well, he does it a little bit different. I think he encourages the kid to not play the trumpet. That's like the last beat of the movie.
Does he deserve to have children? If we want to get into it now,
do any of us?
Doesn't he deserve to just like die alone? Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, but again, this is Spike's writing in a lot of his movies. It's just like, yeah, once he decides he's ready,
saccharine right now.
Once he decides to like for his fallback girl, like it's just like assumed like, yeah, she's gonna go for it, and everything's fine. It's a little weird.
Since we're talking about that, is like the thing where I'm like, this lowers this movie. And I know you don't do half stars, a full half star for me, because I'm like, no, dude. Embrace like that. This is a tragedy. This is a man who like just tried to shoot for everything. He tried to have the world, and then he fucking failed. And now he's alone, and he doesn't have anything, including his music. I don't care if it's bleak.
Let's rewind though, to get into just like, I guess, the whole ensemble. So the club owners are the Turturro brothers, John and his much more famous brother,
Nicholas. We all know Nicholas Turturro.
Yeah, IRL brothers. I don't know. I got a fucking brother. I don't know about you guys.
No.
He's in like a ton of Spike movies mostly.
Yeah. Well, he's known for his role as Detective James Martinez on NYPD Blue and Sergeant Anthony Renzulli on Blue Bloods.
There was some controversy about like these being anti-Semitic stereotypes.
I mean,
at the time of release.
Hard to argue with that. Like, yeah, it's pretty tough.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's anything. Are they like is there explicit like Jewish stuff in they're not, what are they doing or saying that is explicitly Jewish?
Well, I mean, that's the one thing that's the one reason that like, yeah, plausible deniability. Other than that, like the direction of how they are meant to speak is pretty crazy. It also is, funny and effective. Like, you know what I mean? You get these characters, they're club owners above anything else. They're slimeball club owners, and they're
and Lee defended it. Spike Lee defended it as just like the reality of a lot of these clubs. It was just the dynamic. You just have usually wealthy Jewish owners, and then the talent, usually black jazz blues musicians. That was just what a lot of these clubs were. So, you could point to it as being problematic, but he wasn't just making it up. He was pulling from his actual experience in Brooklyn.
And so another like a shortcut that I'm glad the movie didn't take is the movie fully acknowledges that Giant is fucking awful at everything. Yeah. Like he's so every time he talks to them, he's getting it fucking pushed around. He is so bad at every part of managing.
Well, it's all leading. I think the movie does a pretty good job at converging his inability to manage this band and the gambling addiction, right? So you have these concurrent plot lines that are headed to collide with each other. And to me, that was kind of more interesting than the Denzel subplot. I enjoyed the Denzel subplot. I enjoyed all the love triangle stuff. And one of the best scenes in the movie is like him imagining having sex with both women at the same time.
Yeah. Unreal.
Like that's a great sequence.
The best scene of the movie.
But every Spike Lee scene of him going deeper into the hole and realizing that like he's going to default and owe these guys forever was great.
He's an interesting actor because he has an insanely striking face. He has some of the most insane eyes ever. Like they're so wide set and humongous. But he's definitely not a trained actor. Like he does like mush mouth like every fourth or fifth line. Yeah. Where you're like, what'd you say?
There's some weird takes. Like, I don't know if they're improvising. There probably are improvising a lot, but there's some takes in this movie where I can kind of feel like, oh, you're like about to laugh. Like you cut it right before you break completely. Yeah. Well, you don't know what you're doing.
And it speaks toward like sort of the Safdie thing of like directing sort of non-actors, even though he's more of an actor than the non-actors the Safdies choose. But it's like when you put someone in a scene that has like pretty sensible like stakes or like something to react to, he's really solid at it, It's just when he has to say something a little bit more actorly that you're like, okay, you're not an actor, buddy. Yeah. He's just still such a fun like screen presence. He's fun to look at. His fits are he's dressed like a 1950s pimp. It, like the whole time we're watching, it's like my girlfriend was like, he should just sell the outfits. Yeah. They look very expensive.
That's a good point.
But yeah,
I wonder if you can buy them. I'm about to look it up.
That's how we're gonna roll into the next pod.
So the two actresses that Denzel is stuck between, Bleek is stuck between. Robin Harris is playing Clarke, who is the more like traditional beauty. I think this was like her first performance.
Looks so much like Zazie Beetz.
There's an amount of that. I think it was a debut for her, and she is meant to be the more like traditional. She is what you would assume is like the movie love interest option, but there's like a lack of a real connection. And then there's also like her kind of scheming and wanting to get like stage time. By the way,
She's a singer.
Bleek was right. She's not right.
No, I know, dude.
She doesn't have the sauce, man.
Your point about you're saying about like, man, was Shadow's band better? I'm like, I heard that one song and I was not impressed.
They really let her sing that whole song in the movie. Dude, I'm telling you, not a good singer, man.
Highest to lowest.
Bad singer.
Like there's literally a scene just like this where you're just like, man, we're just gonna sit.
Whole song.
Well, that's highest to lowest. At least she's a good singer. The song isn't very good. The song is a bad song, but at least she's got pipes.
And this right.
Here's the thing. They didn't hire her on like having her sing first. They definitely like had her come in and they're like, so like, can you sing a little bit for us?
It's weird. And it's tough because so many other scenes in the movie are like extended musical sequences, but like it's just a real jazz band. Yeah. And like, Denzel and Wesley just trained like for months to get their movements like really right. So it looks great. They look like they're playing the shit.
Yeah.
They technically they are.
Right.
They're just not blowing.
Right.
But that all sounds so good that you can just vibe out to it for a few minutes and like the time flies by. That song at the end was meant to be pretty fucking meaningful and it whiffed.
Very forgettable.
So
Adam, did you want to share what you sent me about this character in the film? Is this from the IMDb trivia page that you
Yeah,
flipped?
it's exactly from there. So I saw a thing in the IMDb trivia page where they said that Halle Berry was supposed to play that role.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she said no because of the sex scene in the movie. And
Yep.
that didn't ring true to me at first. Well, first of all, I fell to my knees because I love Halle Berry.
Planet of the Apes.
That would have been
God.
the movie might have got another half star.
Yeah.
I mean, if she's in the, you know what I mean? Like she's like back then, especially
It would
like,
have been early Halle Berry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1990 Halle Berry.
she was a great actress, I wasn't in love with Robin Harris's performance, to be honest. She
I don't mind her.
has moments. I prefer Joie Lee.
Yeah.
Um
Spike's sister.
Yeah.
oh fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I realized that too.
notably-
This is our first time
I didn't
realizing
even
that.
fucking
Notably,
Yeah.
you see Clark naked
They look
multiple
alike.
times. You don't see Joie Lee Indigo naked, and good on Spike. He's like, I don't want direct nude scenes with my sister.
No, he did. She's naked in the movie for like a second.
But you
I
don't
remember,
see
I
like
thought that was
titties
weird.
out.
Yeah, I saw her tit. I
You
saw
saw
it. That was weird.
Spike, you dirty.
Okay,
dog.
let's get on
You little freak.
MrSkin.com.
Are you sure that you weren't caught in like the in between of who is who?
No, I noticed the hair. It was
I
definitely. the
literally
hair.
had the thought during the movie that she looks kind of like him because they both just have the crazy eyes.
Yeah.
But
Well, she also writes and produces too, I believe, with him.
I
That's
know
awesome.
she wrote Crooklyn.
I found her to be really, really solid in
Yes.
this role. Like I really enjoyed
Could
the
have used a
performance.
few more scenes with her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She's super compelling. It's an interesting character. It's an interesting relationship.
Well, they end up together.
Yeah, but should they?
Yeah.
It's.
Do you think that was her note that she's just like, maybe I end up with this?
I think I fucked.
I think I fucked Denzel. We should probably
Whoa,
reverse.
that's a crazy idea.
Oh, that'd be crazy if we like smooched a little more or something.
They're also in the club. There are also extended sequences with Butterbean, the comedian, who died like right after shooting this. Unfortunately,
Ah.
I did wonder about those scenes because I was like, what does this have to do with anything?
It's just-
and then I
it's
saw
just-
it and I was like,
well, it's also just like hanging out watching like a comedian that's the material you would do in a
Yeah.
club in the 90s.
yeah, I'm a bit of a trisexual.
In between,
I try.
Yeah. We got some ugly women in here.
There's a couple of kind of funny jokes.
Oh, absolutely.
There's some defense of Larry Bird in there,
Mhm.
which is good.
What did he say?
I missed that one.
No, he says like something just like, "Oh no, dude! If Larry Bird didn't have a 3-point shot, then he wouldn't have anything." It's like, bitch, he's Larry Bird because he has a 3-point shot.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's good. Okay.
One thing I want to mention, because I went on a whole rabbit hole with the whole Halle Berry thing, because she said she didn't do it because she didn't want to be in a sex scene, which didn't ring true to me because I've seen Swordfish for one reason. And so I'm looking into it. I'm
Sex
like,
scenes in Catwoman. Did I miss that?
there's
Or-
basketball scenes,
Okay,
which
yeah,
are
okay.
the same thing
Yeah.
to me, really.
Yeah.
I jack off when I'm watching on League Pass.
Is your favorite movie Love and Basketball?
I love loving basketball. I do. I'm very passionate about
Love
basketball.
in basketball?
Guys, I
Wait, let him
About
finish.
Halle
what he
Berry.
has to
yeah,
say.
Halle Berry.
I was just gonna say because so she has multiple sex scenes in the movie. One of them is my favorite scene in the movie where she bites Denzel's lip and you see him freak out.
Yes.
You know how his lips are his livelihood. I thought that was really interesting, and he gets seriously upset with her about it. So I'm like, okay, either she doesn't like Denzel Washington in real life, or she doesn't like Wesley Snipes in real life. So then I do some researching, and I'm like, well, so Wesley Snipes was in Jungle Fever. He's the lead in that. And Halle Berry does a small supporting role in that. So I was like, okay, it must not be that. Did she do anything with Denzel? And then I was like, oh, history. They both won they were the first two to win, first two black leads to win the Oscar. It was Monsters Ball and Training Day.
Oh,
So, there's
wow.
so when I looked up pictures of them together, there's plenty of them together. And I don't know if that's a begrudging, like, yeah, we're friends. You know what I mean? But
hey,
maybe it's just early in their career. She didn't want to
that was
get naked.
That was 10 years later.
That was yeah.
I
maybe
feel like by
change.
that point, if you're gonna still harp on it, it's just to laugh about it, But yeah, I mean, it was probably odd because you. I think a lot of the time that this movie came out, you have controversies that feel very different all these years later, right? Especially there's some stories about like the behavior of some of these guys on set and being like quote unquote method. You always hear stories about that when like guys just being weird on set, and
Franco.
yes, and especially with sex scenes, you know, it's like you'd understand why someone doesn't want to do those kinds of things, but it could get misconstrued and read in so many different ways.
I do like your theory though. I like the theory that they have beef. Like Halle Berry, she's not in Fences 2. So like where are you at? I don't know, still not working together. Ugh.
I mixed up the names in my notes. Cynda Williams is the ingenue. Robin Harris, which I called Clark's character. That's literally Butterbean.
Yeah.
So I mixed the two up. Sorry, Cynda. Congrats on the role. Wasn't crazy about the performance.
She's beautiful too. No,
she is
no
beautiful.
disrespect.
Yes.
I don't mind her. I can kind of see why, you know, she didn't really pop up after this.
It's not her
She
fault.
She did work a lot.
Oh, a ton.
It's not her fault that like the characters are kind of written to be one-dimensional. I can't put that on her.
Yeah, Spike Lee a good amount of the time writes women like this. He also, you know, this fucking first or second movie was She's Gotta Have It. So he has,
that's his very first.
He's very he's very dynamic in the way he writes, but there are a lot of movies where it's pretty limited.
Yeah.
For the
You're
ladies.
writing this like thinking of the men first, and then you're like, oh yeah, then we gotta talk about how hot he is.
So yeah, like the middle of the movies where it feels like to me the two different storylines are not reconciling with each other quite enough, because I'm interested in Denzel's situation and I'm interested in Spike's situation, but they're not coalescing, and like it's jarring to switch in between the two because the vibes are so different, you know, from all the sex scenes, which are shot phenomenally. They're really fun to watch just because the camera's doing a lot of shit.
The use of and even the very, very opening, the use of like color against like bodies and brass instruments just looks so fucking good, man. It looks so good.
Exactly. So that, I mean, with a lot of Spike movies, the way it looks is going to carry you through any script problems you might have. But it does reach a point toward the middle of the movie where I'm like, okay, so like this movie's about a guy who like gets laid too much and is too good at jazz. Like he needs to like have a real problem at some point, you know,
and then eventually it gets,
and then he has like a million horrible problems at the very end. You know, it's just like pretty crammed in.
Yeah. I wouldn't have minded to have seen the movie where it's just a guy that is good at jazz and, you know, is sleeping with two women. Like that would have been a cool movie to see. But yeah, you have this gambling subplot.
Well, Spike subplot. He's like in like a cartoon, like burglar getting beat up scene.
Which, by the way, who's the guy who plays the actual bookie? Is it Roberto Quatimundi? Looks like he's actually a musician, like a Latin music played with Tito Puente.
All the Spanish he's speaking is just foods.
Which
listen, you can do it, buddy. That's a crazy thing to write.
I was wondering what the deal was with that. Like, is he trying to say that the teams are specific foods?
Exactly. Is it deep like that, or is it just
like
Spike,
a code?
Spike thinking it's funny? You know, in the way that like that's like
platanito.
That's like a super hack joke that you do. You know, in a foreign language, they're just being like, oh, Mitsubishi Honda. You know, like.
Right.
Is he doing that joke? I really couldn't figure it out.
I think that he is, because at first I was like, oh, it's doing some kind of a code for him to help remember it. Because the first time that Spike is like, I'm going to run through, we're doing the full league, I'm just going to say this. I don't think that he's like writing them down. So it's almost like he's saying them back in his head.
To try to memorize.
Whenever they're in the diner, he's taking, like he could just write down Orioles money line.
Maybe maybe it's to like not get in trouble. Like he just has, you know.
Does he think that like the feds are listening in this like street corner diner?
I don't know. But if they bust him and he just has a bunch of notes of like food, then like, what are you going to do?
That's a good point. So let's do gambling / sports corner here. Like I want to hear some takes on the actual, what is this movie idea of these teams, and also like, are any of these bets any good?
Well,
evidently not.
I'm gonna let
probably not.
Adam, I'm gonna let you take this one, the lead on this one, because you know much more about baseball than I do. I'm not a baseball person.
I'm a huge baseball guy. My whole life is gonna end tomorrow.
Night is right now.
Yeah, but the Mets don't play till tomorrow. But Spike's Yankees play tonight against the Giants. I'll be catching the latter half of that one a little bit later. But no, I'm huge on baseball. I mean, I know I specifically researched when they're doing the first betting scene in the diner, that's a real newspaper.
Yeah, it's a real day of games that he's betting on.
Yeah, which I just want to point out. He said the Mets were going to lose the doubleheader, and he notoriously loses his bets. So I hope he lost that one. But no, I mean, I like sports betting. I don't do it very much anymore. Profited 600 lifetime. I got out clean.
Let's go.
Mostly football type stuff. Baseball, it's hard to bet on because it's so day to day.
It's so, yeah, there's a lot of random chance in there. So there's not a lot of analytics going on with Spike.
No,
he's betting the same amount on every single
all
game.
vibes.
Yeah. That's a bad sign.
That's a terrible decision to make of just like, I'm betting evenly on all my bets.
That just means I want to bet. You know?
No, like Giant probably doesn't know anything about baseball. He's just a degenerate.
Yeah.
Like, he
honestly,
just wants to bet.
I really think that if you could bet on weather patterns in 1990 New York, he would have bet on that.
Yeah, Giant Kalshi's account.
They should do a remake.
Not good.
Yeah.
A remake where he gets deep with Kalshi. They're like a bunch of tech bros are like breaking his legs.
Yeah.
Well, I know people like
Denzel's
that will
like
bet on
the
like
third member of 100
tennis
X
in the middle of the night. You know what I mean? Just because it's on, you know, and they'll bet on anything just because.
I've told this story before on the pod, but like I'll never forget the first time that I went to Vegas and like stumbling downstairs, or like you're at the craps table or blackjack or slots or whatever, and you just walk over to like the sports betting rig, and it's like 2 a.m. Vegas time, so it's like 5 a.m. here, and there's just like 4 dudes chain smoking hundreds, and they're just betting on virtual horse racing, and I'm like,
gosh,
we gotta have like
Darkness.
We gotta have the meeting like right now. Like I need to intervene right now because you're betting on video game right
it's
now.
a
Like
sting operation.
the most riggable thing that ever could possibly exist. You are doing that right now.
Hunter, do you want his little dice clicker thing?
I actually love that. Like,
Yeah.
if we're gonna do the thing about
you got to
like,
practice your luck.
not to steal another podcast bit, but if we could do the like piece of memorabilia that you would have, that'd
It'd
be
be
one of the things.
You know,
that would have.
so you can find those on eBay. That was actually like a really common thing way back in the day.
Like I make my own luck.
Well, just like
That-
a little like credit card shaped like dice thing that people just use for games and stuff. I don't know why that's just gone.
That's cool.
I guess because technically like something can go wrong with that machinery, whereas with dice like nothing could ever, I don't know, but those are really cool. I get them in like I get like vintage stuff in like my algorithm sometimes.
So what are you betting on that you're like, I need to get like special dice rolling machines?
I use that for my my shot in the dark on Survivor.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
I don't trust the dice that Jeff gave me.
They don't.
It's not even a die. It's just a piece of paper that says like you're in or you're out. Yeah.
There's
it's
no
stupid. It's stupid. as
dice
fuck.
involved.
Jeff, stupid.
I hate that's
Stupid.
back for this.
It
I
hasn't
hate-
even. It hasn't been used in quite a while.
because it's stupid and dumb, and I hate
Yeah.
it.
Sorry.
I don't know if you're a Survivor person at all.
I'm more of a total drama type person.
Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, not caught up on total drama.
You've been spared the Zach Brown drama that has overtaken.
The country singer?
Yeah, he appeared on the
Fried?
latest.
Yeah, from 2010.
Yes, the one from back then. He's on the
latest
newest episode of Survivor. He is the reward for a challenge is he goes out and spearfishes, and it shows him doing that for like 10-15 minutes. And it has a lot of like confessionals where he's getting interviewed and talking about how much he loves spearfishing.
And it's just him like sitting in a chair,
it's-
like, it's always
Spearfishing has
my
always been
dream
spearfishing and
to be out
Survivor,
here
like my two
on
favorite things.
Survivor.
A lot of, and then it's not like Survivor spearfishing. He's going out on like a nice boat, and he has like a fucking assault rifle of a spear, and he's just killing giant fish.
It's insane.
And then he brings them back and like cooks them for the winners of the challenge, and then plays his new hit single.
And we do hear the entire song.
I've never been so upset watching that show. I was mind boggled.
It was deranged. Also, it has since come out that it was faked. That you can now see the spearfish. You can see the fish is being anchored to the bottom of the ocean before he shot it.
Oh my god!
The entire thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
he's not even
you
good
just
at it.
wasted
That makes sense because
20 minutes of our
he's
fucking
getting
time.
like a bluefin. Like he's getting big fucking tuna.
They fucking planted it there for
Yeah,
him.
that's fair.
Anyway,
Anyways, Mo Betta Blue.
Sorry, guys.
Give me some of that Mo Betta. Also, great use of the like name of the movie in this movie.
it means fucking.
Well, he wanted it to be called something else. He wanted it to be called the name of the name of the Coltrane fucking song.
Oh yeah, it's Love Supreme.
Yeah, he wanted it to be called a Love Supreme, but the Coltrane estate would not allow it.
Tough.
I think Movement of Blues is a better name.
It's a cool name.
Great name.
Like it's an iconic name, even though this was my first time seeing the movie.
Do we want to clear out here just to talk about Denzel like on stage? Have we said enough about how cool this is?
He's
Does
really.
this happen ever again? Does he do this again?
Does he play a musician again?
I mean,
not
he's
just
on stage as like a public speaker.
He's on stage just like Malcolm X. Yeah, I mean,
no. I mean, like specifically performing in the way that he's performing.
I don't know,
here.
but he's
We
the
see him
trumpet,
in the studio
the
at
rapping,
highest to lowest.
the shades.
Yeah.
He is
the hat.
He is cool
the
as
suit.
all hell, and it's even more impressive to me because so much of that is ADR when he's on the stage talking into like a shitty microphone and it sounds perfect. You know that because. I mean, this is true of a lot of early Spike movies. They're just in New York, like filming like in rooms. And so if they're in a room without acoustics set up, like it's just echoing.
Yeah.
There are a lot of lines that get kind of lost, especially when people are talking over each other in a way that you just don't see anymore. And it kind of works, honestly. It's kind of charming. But yeah, like the fact that in the moment he's that cool. And then also in ADR, he's that cool. And also he like can perfectly mime playing the trumpet in a way that would fool like anyone who's not a complete professional.
It looks legit.
It's awesome.
Straight up.
It's absolutely fucking awesome. The way him and Wesley kind of vibe off each other, even when they're not getting along, but they're still. That was like me and you, Hunter, when we were in the band together.
I like to think so.
My drums and your
fighting
singing.
over each other's time.
No, it's just I don't know. It just all feels really.
You kept
real.
saying like, God, I just need to break off and just make my own drum band. It's just gonna be drums.
I wanted to learn more about his strange relationship with Wesley Snipes. Almost like the stuff going on with Giant is a lot more like grabby and it's like a real like movie plot. It's like a thriller, but like the tension between them is fascinating. Like it really is. And especially later in the movie, one of my favorite scenes is when they're both drunk and they're having like a normal conversation that then turns tense. But like, because like when you're not getting along with someone, but like you work together, you have to get along a good amount of the time. They're just having like a conversation about like philosophy in music.
Are you talking about when they're all in the club?
Yeah, it's
like dark.
No, it's like the house party.
It's when it starts with just Denzel and Wesley talking, and Denzel talking about how upset he is that more black people are not going to the club.
I think it's at Butterbean's house because he doesn't.
No, it's in the club. It's in the club.
No, I thought that they're at like. Are they in the club?
I'm pretty
for some reason I thought it was like at like an apartment like house party.
I think they're.
I have the movie pulled up.
I think
I'm just looking.
I'm pretty sure they're just at the
watching
club like after hours. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
it's just after all the performances are over. So
Yeah, it looks like a smoky basement club.
yeah. So I think they're all just like freed up, like not having to do their shows anymore, but they're still at the club.
It actually, this
It
is
kinda
definitely
looks like-
someone's house.
It looks like somebody's house. You can literally see the New York skyline like with a big old window.
Yeah.
Like they just are
but
like
they
a
made it
penthouse.
look. They made this person's house look like a club.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty cool.
I think I clocked it because I was just like, damn, they got like a penthouse in New York. Like, how much is Butterbean making? Like on these gigs, these comedy gigs he's doing in between jazz club sets.
But yeah, that little sequence is awesome because then it just keeps rolling and goes into a big group scene and it's a confrontation. Then Butterbean comes in and makes everyone laugh and it feels so real. It's just
a good vibe.
Yeah, it feels cool. And so I don't know if I were to try to reconcile everything in the movie, like even though the stuff going on with Giant is interesting, it feels the least part of this movie.
I think the thing you're reminding me of is like Challengers. I wish it was Challengers, but instead of tennis, it's jazz.
Wow.
And they make out.
You want them to fuck each other on stage.
Maybe, but like that's way more interesting to me than the like my buddy sucks at gambling. And
Unfortunately,
right.
I do think Spike is like kind of too conservative to make that movie.
Well, yeah,
that would be an awesome.
I don't think
fucking
he's
movie.
in 1990.
Yeah, in 1990s, not
Like what? No, that's not.
But I think at any point
made.
in Spike's career, like, I don't think he would ever make that.
I do wonder though, to this whole point, is it more of a like discredit that like Spike chose to focus on maybe the less interesting thing, or is it more of a credit to like Wesley and like Wesley Snipes' performance, that just what he
He
brought
is
to the
so
character. 'Cause
magnetic.
I don't think that
really
like
good.
on the page it was written to be as much of a thing of like they have this like wicked chemistry between them, but
Yeah.
also like he's just meant to be like the spiteful bandmate who's just like, fuck you, man, I could go make my own band. But like there's something that's so compelling about Wesley Snipes in this movie that you can't keep your eyes off of him. I mentioned it before, like this is right at the beginning of like the Wesley Snipes run here, because you have this, you have King of New York, you have New Jack City, Demolition Man, all coming within like 3 years of each other. White Men Can't Jump is 92. Like this is the peak of Wesley Snipes right now.
When's Blade?
Bleed is
2000?
a little bit.
Or
98.
Yeah, 98. Yeah. Late
That's
90s.
at the end.
Yeah, he jumps off the screen like every shot he's in this movie. So you're probably right. Like I think there's a good chance that it was just like he makes you want the movie to be about him more than he should have.
What do you guys think of essentially how it becomes a love quadrangle?
It's
A love rectangle.
Yeah,
It's just a rectangle.
well, I mean, so like
a
Square.
a perpendicular.
It's a love
rhombus.
rhombus. Yeah.
I think
A trapezoid.
I feel like if Spike had focused more on that, I think that he could have written something really interesting. He writes a lot of really interesting stuff about relationships and about how like men and women view each other.
Mhm.
And just for example, like the fact that like Denzel isn't immediately like, hey, that's my girl. He's like, hey man,
You're good.
do your thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't own her or anything, but then also you can tell he's clearly really salty.
Yeah. The last
Like,
time
that's
I
really
saw her
fun.
naked body,
Yeah.
which was like just last night, I didn't see my name written on it.
Yeah.
It's like the weird, like you're saying two different things at once.
Exactly. Like that tension, like it, like you were saying almost about a Challengers thing, minus the making out maybe, but like that's interesting. That dynamic is really cool.
the
but it's in the
scene-
middle of a movie that's also about like 4 other things.
The scene in the club when both women are wearing like basically the same dress and they're complimenting each other's
the
dress
exact same dress.
without actually talking to each other. But then Wes, or I should say the character's name. I was going to say
Shadow.
Yeah, Shadow and Bleek are approaching them. That's like one of the standout scenes in the movie.
By the
Yeah.
way, I don't want to even give advice to people who are like cheating on their loved ones because it's a bad thing to do.
No, go right ahead.
Fellas, don't ever buy your two ladies the same fucking dress. What is wrong with you?
I think he might be delusional.
Once again, I think like Bleek is such a bad dude. Like he's bad, but like at a level of like so inconsiderate that it's like idiocy. Like I don't know, like how to
It's
even
BOGO,
say it.
you know?
Yeah. He's like, I told you shouldn't got
he
two of those
accidentally
Italian
grabbed
dresses.
two. He's like, oh, shit.
Get two different colors, man. Like, what are you doing?
Well, yeah.
You can only
you're right.
stop at like one dress shop and you're like, shit, I gotta get both of my girls a dress right now. They only have one dress available.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It's bad choice. It's happened to all of us. I don't think we like I don't think we gave enough time to this like combined love scene thing, because
Oh,
that's
what this leads
Yeah.
straight into.
that's like one of the coolest things I've ever seen, and it speaks toward why Spike is like the most unique auteur that I think or one of them that we have, is because it takes an idea that story-wise, like in a vacuum, is really trite and really stupid. The idea that he would independently call each of these women by each other's names, like on two separate, if that was done on two separate occasions, you'd be like, that is so stupid. Like he did the trope, but twice.
Mm.
But this is an example of him when he's writing, thinking of how it would look
Yeah.
instead of just what the words are.
Hell yeah.
Because he's like, yes, but I can shoot it like it's almost like they're ganging up on him.
Yeah.
Where he's like looking this way,
Well,
way.
before that,
It's-
even the bodies are melding into each other.
Yeah.
Like you like see one person's shoulder and then another person's
it's just
come out.
It's one of those things where like in this, like, I don't know. It's why like I could just never do like a quarter of what, you know what I mean? Like we could only dream to like think like that. Like when writing, thinking with visuals first is such like an advanced, he's so good at it. And they're, watching through all of his movies, there's so many sequences that are just like that, where you can just tell that like he had the shot in his brain and he wrote to do
Yeah.
the shot, that's just really cool shit. He's a fucking awesome
I'm really
guy.
glad I waited to get home today to watch this movie because I woke up in Virginia today and I drove to the airport, had this movie loaded up on my laptop to watch it. And as soon as I started watching it, I was like, I don't want people looking over my shoulder.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Watching this. I'm going to wait to get home. And then, once I got to this scene, I was like, I'm glad the whatever random child was sitting behind me didn't experience the magic of the double love scene.
Speaking of
changed
that,
his life.
I don't know whatever happened to that man, but there was one time, the last time that I went on a flight, I saw somebody downloading Poor Things on their iPad.
Oh yeah, back out.
I didn't sit next to him.
Undo.
But man, I just would have loved to like be just in the same vicinity as him as he's like firing up Poor Things
next to like a child.
Yeah.
Not, just being like, hey, it's an Oscar buzz.
Yeah. What do you look? I've heard good things.
Yeah.
Orcos?
One time I fired up for my family. I fired up The Nice Guys because I just remembered it as a really fun action comedy, and I had completely forgot it's about porn.
Yeah.
And then the first 5 minutes, like I was I misfired really hard
right away,
and I had to pivot and like turn it off. It was a tough night.
Back out. Adam, thoughts on this whole love quadrangle thing and everything we're talking about here with this, I guess, cinematic feat that he pulls off here?
Just that scene in particular, or just the entire?
Well, I think the scene is like the piece de resistance, but it's a subplot throughout the whole film. So
weirdly enough, the first thing I thought of was that shot in Sentimental Value from this past year with all the faces going. Obviously, way different context, but I thought about that.
Just as horny.
But yeah, that's what I love about Spike so much is that he's so visually distinct. And he's a very sensual filmmaker, and in a lot of the movies that I've seen, I'm halfway through Chirac right now.
Oh, nice.
Hyper sexual movie, almost cartoonishly. But no, that's what I'm saying. I'm way more interested in this romantic thread in the movie than I am in most other things, So that's why I just think that, especially with the way that the movie ended, and that's one thing I have a problem with sometimes watching old movies is it's like consent's a different thing today than maybe it was 75 years ago.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Now, this wasn't 75 years ago.
Yeah.
But I'm watching the end of this movie when he's like making his plea, and I'm like, I don't.
If you corner a woman hard enough, she will have your kid.
She has to.
Because
the implication.
Yeah. Well, and it's, I don't know. It's just, it's also interesting because it paints him as pitiful too.
Yeah.
But the fact that you just know she's gonna do it is like, I was like, this stinks.
I booed the screen whenever it happened.
Before we get there, let's talk about the beat up, the alley.
Yeah, so
because that's sort of what kicks off this whole thing.
Yeah.
This is leading up to that. This is the part where the movie really drags for me because you have this moment, and I like marked it whenever this whole thing happened. The moment that we're all talking about with the three of them all together, the intercutting of the women at his house. This point, there's still like 50 minutes left in the movie.
Yeah, it's kind of the halfway point.
This is where I'm talking about where I'm like the pacing is all off because we like paused it at this point and I was just like, okay, so we're entering the third act now. It's like, oh shit. We're like only halfway through. We got to like go bike around Central Park, which, by the way, some great fits. Denzel biking in a sweater.
They look like a beautiful lesbian couple.
The bandana,
good,
a sweater,
man.
black sweater, black
and then
bandana.
Spikes in like a neon jumpsuit.
It's so cool.
We're gonna have to do best fit. We're like
The fits are
before we wrap, we'll award best fit because there are so many.
The bike fits are absolutely gorgeous.
The sweater bandana combo is really something special there. But then there's that. We just now get the Samuel L. Jackson in one of his two tiny bit scenes, like being in the car and breaking fingers.
So speaking toward, I mean, this is the thing that pops up in like all of Spike's stuff. He has like a cartoon brain, and those characters are like cartoon stooges where they talk
goons.
They talk in like unison almost.
Yeah.
They like trade lines.
It's like something out of Home Alone.
It's like
more than it's a real.
It's like the villains in like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like how it's like did you guys rehearse these lines before you said this to him?
The other thing that I just like noted on because it made me laugh really hard is that Shadow wants to hear Bleek beg for Clarke on the phone when they're fucking.
Yep.
I'm like, Shadow,
Yep.
you're a freak. That's the most challengers. That is the most challengers moment of the entire movie.
He's like,
quality.
he's
I wanna hear
getting
you
off
beg.
on it.
Yeah. It's like, oh, now I can finish.
all the tension on stage between the sax and
Yeah.
the trumpet just paid off.
And then,
that moment.
because that, like, shortly after that, you actually have like the fight between the two of them. Real life, guys, fellas, who we got in a fight? Wesley Snipes or Denzel?
Snipes.
It's Snipes, 100%, right?
Snipes.
He is so broad.
There's no way.
He looks like a
that-
fucking linebacker.
There's
Yeah.
Snipes, I think, could take out Denzel so fast. I think Denzel is like an athletic dude,
Totally.
but Wesley Snipes is like he's built different. Like
Yeah.
he looks like a real athlete, not like a Hollywood movie.
Denzel looks like he'd be good at shooting you with a gun, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he looks like trained.
Yeah.
Yes.
And,
He looks equalized.
Snipes looks like an absolute. Yes, Snipes could kill I take him over just about anybody.
He's fucking Blade, dude. He will always be Blade. Ryan Reynolds told me so.
That scene is also really funny because, like, the second they start going at it, Spike comes in. He's like, "Yeah, get his ass, kill him, kill him."
That's really good. That's a great Spike moment.
Well, Spike, so we should say Giant, he's crashing out here. Like all this third act stuff is leading to him being like, dude, I'm done.
He's
Like,
getting his
they got me.
He's getting his fucking fingers broken, and then just going around to people being like, "Hey guys, look at my hand," and everyone's like, "Shut up, Giant! I'm not giving you any money."
And so he asks Bleek, like, bro, can I crash at your place? Like, you gotta help me out, man. I need a place to go.
By the way, note on that. Okay, so like you have men out hunting for you. Maybe don't go to the one fucking club where you're at every other night. Like, just
This
lay
guy
low.
is stupid.
Just stay. You got the okay to just stay at Bleek's house. Just stay at the house, man. Just stay inside.
Giant's a fucking moron.
He's so
Like,
dumb.
everything he does is bad. He's a stupid guy. But again, I think that's the most interesting scene involving Giant is like, you know, the like, you're fired, but you can stay here. Like that's cool. It speaks toward, you know, Bleek as a character where it's like he's principled and he's out for himself, but also like he loves him. And then I don't know, it kind of doesn't really stay on that for very long. And also, I don't know, getting into like what lesson does this movie want to teach you? Not that every movie has to teach you anything, but so Bleek gets fucked over by helping him.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Clarke has a line earlier in the movie that's like, everyone's a teacher. They either teach you what to do or what not to do.
Great line.
Giant clearly is teaching him what not to do, and he still, because he loves him and he's family, he still like tries to help him, and he loses everything because of that. What are we left to think? You know, I had a hard time, you know, not that there has to be like a moral or anything. I was just like, what is he trying to say with that? It's interesting.
Maybe a little clumsy. I am curious, like, I don't know if you guys want to dig deeper into the actual like little action scene that we get with the beat up.
There are a couple tough, bad punches. There are a couple.
Yeah. Well,
The cut comes like a millisecond too late, and you see how hard that punch is not hitting someone.
yeah.
But I mean,
right leading up to that, you have like that whiplash-esque, like hard blast beat song that is playing. That it's like all the lighting in the studio is like red, and they're just like, that's the point where like Denzel's like, and there's like playing the fuck out of the drums. I thought that was really cool, is like this like hellish ending that we're getting into, and then finishes the song and then just like immediately runs out stage. I do like his professionalism though. He sees like, hey, my best friend Giant is out here. He is getting like dragged outside, but like I'm in the middle of a song.
Well, and
Like,
also-
the show must go on. I don't know. It's like, I'll play it faster. I
Well,
guess,
also,
but, like, I still gotta finish the song.
Also, this is the first gig where Shadow's gone.
Yeah.
So no one's gonna take over.
Wow,
You know?
yeah.
He's like, I got it. I'm sorry.
Got pop off.
Sorry, my guy.
Adam, thoughts on this whole section here?
Of the fight scene of the movie, I think that it was frustrating to me, especially because of what he gets his jaw broken.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it harkens back to what I said is my favorite scene in the movie earlier, is when he gets his lip bitten. You know, so I just felt like that should have had a lot more impact. You know what I mean?
The blood.
Yeah, and well, I like the scene that's I think it's not long after that when he's like, I'm done, I'm quitting, and then Giant's just like, I won't sell it, I won't sell your trumpet. I just thought that was really funny. But
That was awesome.
That should have been the end of the movie right there. Honestly, like I think that you could have just ended. Right
I mean,
there. That would have been like a 1940s to a movie.
You'd be shocked with how much happens right after that. Like I was looking at the amount of time left, and I was like, "There's no way much else is going to happen." And then like years pass.
I was kind of confused here because this is really where the sort of the montage energy starts
we get
crank up.
rushed through a ton of really important shit.
So they get beat up, right? And then we're in the hospital bed. Bleek and his dad.
Great moment.
We haven't mentioned the dad. He's really good here.
Well,
we haven't mentioned the baseball
Williams.
moment at the beginning.
Well, I mean, the
throwing the baseball.
You're a baseball guy.
Yeah.
Do you have any comments on their baseball throw?
Not on the throw, more on the apparel and the decorations in the apartment.
You don't dress up in like full, like you're trying out for like
Just to toss
for
the
like the
ball
Triple A
outside.
league team to throw a ball around.
Well, I collect jerseys, but I always feel stupid wearing them out. I don't want anyone
Unless
to
you're
say
on a
anything.
podcast.
You feel stupid.
No, like in public, you know what I mean? Like I don't want a stranger being like, saying something to me about my jersey or whatever.
Yeah. They attack you because they hate the Knicks.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm like, someone's gonna be mean to me because they don't like my stupid team that I'm wearing right now. But no, I mean, I love the jersey. It's a Willie Mays New York Giants jersey. I also like the hat. It's the all black with the orange NY on it.
That's nice.
So I really like that a lot. But I was confused because in his apartment, sick apartment, by the way.
Yeah.
He has a giant like baseball scoreboard on one of the walls that says Brooklyn versus the Yankees. So clearly we're a Giants fan. We're wearing Giants stuff. But why two completely separate teams on your wall?
I don't know.
I think maybe he's just like,
Don't know.
No, I clocked that though. I was like, who's he like?
Like, did Spike make that prop specifically for the film?
Also, correct me if I'm wrong, wouldn't say Brooklyn and then New York. You wouldn't say,
Yeah, just a Brooklyn Yankees.
yeah, like you're saying like, that'd be like, oh, Patriots are playing New York this week. And you're like, well,
Yeah,
that
which
one of them's a team
Yeah.
and the other one's like a mascot. Like what?
Well, clearly it's a throwback thing because this takes place in the late 80s. The Brooklyn Dodgers had moved over to LA and already won I think they won a championship 88.
Wow.
But and then the Giants are obviously in San Francisco as well. So maybe it's like a cool like throwback because like I have jerseys of teams that I don't like.
Yeah.
Like I was almost wore my Buster Posey jersey just because I hate the Yankees today.
Hey,
You know,
Florida State, Florida State's own.
FSU
Yeah.
legend, baby.
Hey, I have a Luka Doncic Mavs jersey that I got after his rookie season.
Oh,
because I was
wow.
like, I love this guy. I can't wait to see him win championships for
With the Mavs.
Dallas
Yeah.
Mavericks.
Yeah, but like I don't know. It's just so maybe it's like one of those like, oh, it's just cool that it's like history. Like I would love to have like a Seattle Supersonics jersey or something like that, you know, or
Absolutely. No, that's fair. One thing I wrote down, which has nothing to do with anything, but because I don't watch baseball at all. And so I'm almost upset at how drippy baseball jerseys are. Like the form factor of them is so much cooler than any other jersey. It's like a button down like t-shirt thing.
Yeah.
Like, with the basketball jersey, you have to always make the call of like undershirt or no undershirt.
Here's the thing.
yeah.
I'm having to watch my posture this entire podcast
Exactly. Things that go south.
because things get really bad. If you
Do you
start
know-
slouching.
So
with
I
the-
just-
You're
the-
going to
the no
reveal a
shirt,
lot.
you're like,
I just went to
Also, I'm sweaty right now. My arms have to stay down
dude,
the entire time.
I just went to the Magic Lakers game with my
sick.
girl.
Did you go undershirt or?
My girlfriend had to do a lot of encouraging to get me to go no undershirt. I was like, I haven't worn a tank top in my life. And this is a tank top, basically. Hunter, you've worn tank tops the whole time I've known you.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have
let
chest
you
hair.
let that shit out.
I actually think chest hair helps.
Mhm.
Chest hair makes you like it's like liquid courage, but for your chest.
You're probably
I
right.
will say the moment you walked in, I was like, crap, I did the undershirt.
No, it really is a thing. You just have to make a decision. And then football jerseys are like
They're
really
too
bulky.
big, man. Yeah, that's you can't just
gotta-
like casually just like, oh, I'm gonna go run up to Publix. Let me throw on my majors.
Yeah,
like it's like oh,
it's like
I
a joke.
look like-
They're
I look
heavy.
like a toddler. Yeah,
And if it's like a real game jersey, it's built for pads underneath it. Baseball jerseys, the drip is crazy.
Yeah.
Denzel looks so cool.
I think it
It's a-
does
it's
it
a
does
great-
help the
great-
clicks that only one guy has the full guns out. if people are watching this, because if it'd be 2, they'd be like, I don't want to know what this is.
This is too sexy of a pod right now. Yeah.
I don't want any part of this. But if it's 1, it's like, oh, why is it just 1? Why is it 1 out of 4? I need to find out.
Yeah.
It's
so apparently
you are at least doing the smart thing where you have the undershirt, but it's coordinated with the
yeah.
itself.
Actually, it's
That's
all
nice.
perfectly
Like,
on brand.
is there something on that shirt underneath?
It's just like a softball t-shirt.
Wow. See, we wouldn't have known. It looks like it's built in almost.
Yeah.
To the
Also, like, I was having a whole day because I had to drive up here, you know, so like I wanted to make sure, like, if I'm sweaty, like, I'm good. I got the dry fit stuff going on.
yeah, man. What if I fucking smell?
Yeah.
You know,
I feel
tough.
there's sweat just
You
trickling
fucking
down
reek
right now. Yeah.
right now.
Good. I'll just like open up, but like just your way. I only like lift up my arms for the Patreon. You got to pay extra for that one.
For the smell-o-vision. So apparently, I need to triple fact check this, but apparently the scoreboard was actually commissioned by Spike Lee.
Really?
Yeah, it's a custom piece of art for the film, serving as a I guess a visual metaphor for the idea that he's trying to get across for like the black sports history in the background, which is not what the movie's about. You know, it's just kind of this texture.
No, but there's there's always been a parallel between like the pursuit of musicianship and the pursuit of sports, like perfection, you know, like Denzel treats being a jazz musician like being an athlete.
But maybe we should explain, because maybe people don't know, like there's got to be some link here between how into Spike he's so into Brooklyn, like Brooklyn specifically, and the history of the Brooklyn Dodgers moving from Brooklyn to LA. Like, I don't know if you want to add some context to that, because I'm not familiar, but like maybe there's something there of what he's trying to say with his passion for that history. I
really actually love that you asked me this question. So obviously he's a Yankees fan. We know that. Obviously he has a love for the Brooklyn Dodgers. He wears the Jackie Robinson jersey and Do the Right Thing. That also might be because of the point the movie's trying to make. But he's a big Yankees fan. We know this, right? And I love that you said this, because I came out of highest to lowest being like, his usage of the Yankees and the Knicks in the movie is very indicative of like it's the rich versus the poor. And like, he uses them in very specific points. And I felt like a crazy person because all my cinephile nerd friends were like, yeah, I guess.
I don't watch sports. Yeah.
But I'm like, no, I swear.
No,
I
swear. He's like an obsessive about his teams. Like he absolutely would do that.
And I love that for him, you know, like he's getting old. You know what I mean? The Knicks are good this year. The Celtics are better. I'll give you that much. But like, I need him to win. Like, that's going to mean something to me watching him cry when they win.
And you want to take that away from him?
He's only 69.
I hope
He's still got time.
I hope Tatum tears the other one.
You can't say that.
He's wearing the jersey.
I will say I want the Celtics to play the Knicks so bad because I want Tatum.
Oh,
I want the Tatum. I want the redemption.
You want to see Spike Lee react to the whole thing.
I do. I want the Reggie Miller, but it's just going to be Spike Lee like with a crossover.
I don't know, but maybe there is a layer here, because not all of Spike's movies are about New York or about Brooklyn, but these that are, maybe when he throws these things in, they mean something, right? And obviously, like I said, I'm not super familiar with it, but maybe there is something about what's the word, like the pureness of Brooklyn having the team and how that relates to the music and the jazz and the idea that he's trying to get across with the music. Maybe there's something there, like some kind of point that he's trying to make about like what is quote unquote the real Brooklyn that he wants to preserve.
He's no Nets fan, so he didn't make the switch. It was a little too late when the Nets. Does anybody care about the Nets?
I
mean, imagine him being courtside for them losing by like 50 points every single fucking game.
No, I do think I know, Adam, you can speak to this more than any of us, but also this is way like before our generations of even watching this, of like, there's so many New York people that are like tangential in my life that are like older generations that now just cheer for the Dodgers because they're like, well, I was a Dodgers fan and then they were stolen from me. Yeah. So like, I'm still just like, I don't care that they're in LA now. Like, this is still my team. Is that like, I grew up, my dad was a Dodgers fan and his dad before him was a Dodgers fan. So like, I'm a Dodgers fan no matter where they live.
Hey, Supersonics coming back, baby. Adam, thoughts on the expansion draft? What?
I'm pro it.
Can you imagine how fun it's going to be to watch an expansion draft?
Dude, I literally,
holy shit!
I have a Supersonic shirt. I'm a jersey from way back when that I never actually got rid of. So I'm hyped for it. Katie, return.
Katie rookie jersey.
Yeah.
I don't have a concrete like theory about what you're talking about, but my pontification that comes to my mind is we talked about, jazz, obviously, you were talking about the conversation they had with why aren't black people going to the clubs anymore? The concept of having something that feels so like personal to you, that belongs to you, that feels like it's being taken away. The Dodgers were taken from Brooklyn. They went to Los Angeles. The Giants were taken from New York and they were given to San Francisco. So maybe that's the parallel that we're trying to draw is how he feels about losing his sports teams is how I guess Bleek feels about like losing jazz.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
There's something there. I mean, the movie never makes it
I think
explicit, but you gotta think that Spike has all these things at the front of mind.
He layers his shit with just tons of like there's no I don't know. He cares about the little things in a way that like are not conducive to like it's not like the box office changed because he like he got
that prop.
Yeah, he made that custom prop made. He just cares a lot. And like his psyche has a ton of sports going on up in there.
Right.
It's gonna come out in some way or another.
They move like wasn't that like in the 60s or
because the Mets were in 1962 and that's why the Mets are orange and blue because blue for the Dodgers, orange for the Giants. So it was a long time.
Wow,
It happened
I did
when
not
he was
know that. That's cool.
a little boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
cute little thing. But so when he was a boy, very impressionable young age, something was ripped away from him. Almost like, I guess, like a divorce parallel kind of situation, obviously on a much smaller level.
Yeah.
Sports teams.
But, what the opening scene, right, when we see the young version of Bleek, I bet by that point, the change has been made. Like they're already living in a quote unquote changed Brooklyn, right?
Yeah.
So I think that maybe my guess is because the movie is fast forwarding and the years have passed for the real life people, for Spike himself, he might be trying to make a statement about the change that will be coming, right? Because now Brooklyn is a very, very gentrified neighborhood, and there's no way that he was going to know exactly what it was going to become, but since there had already been some kind of process started leaning in that direction of that kind of change, maybe some of these ideas are trying to kind of call out like let's tell this story about music informing the past and the present and trying to predict what the future might be in terms of holding on to some kind of that legacy.
That jazz club is now a microbrewery.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Well,
they took it all.
Well, you gifted me, and I had an epiphany when you were saying that because, like I said, when he talks about the Mets specifically, he dogs on them because they don't have enough black players. Now, one thing, obviously, we know, like I said, established earlier, is a great love for Jackie Robinson. So maybe it's a parallel to that as well, because baseball has a very small, especially today, has a very small black population when it comes to their players and stuff. So maybe he's trying to draw some kind of connection between how black people are leaving jazz, just like how black people are leaving baseball. And he's making that.
Baseball does, it has like
in 1990. Like at that point had a lot of, because obviously I know that like that is definitely a sentiment and like a trend that is a thing now in like the 2020s, but was that even a feeling going back to the 90s? Like had Latin America kind of become as big of a thing then?
Well, I can imagine that like a young boy watching Jackie Robinson play baseball being like, this is going to be the new norm. There's going to be a lot of black baseball players just like me. And then he grows up and it's like, it never really caught on. Basketball was more big. Football was more big.
And baseball is like politically speaking, like a pretty conservative sport
in
terms of fan base and players.
It's true.
So that makes a ton of sense. That I think that there's an amount of this, to like down to the specifics, who knows, but there's an amount of this absolutely that's like intentionally in the text here. There's also like the film is very bookended by the father stuff. Like by like the
almost like a shot for shot recreation, basically.
I mean, absolutely. But I mean, and again, that speaks to sort of how I felt about like the stilted nature of the movie, that it's like the very beginning and the very end, and then kind of abandoned for most of the movie, you know? But it still has it. Like, you know, there's thought put into like giving this guy a relationship with his father.
But it's one of those things of like, did you just write the ending first? You knew how you were going to begin and how you were going to end the movie. And then you're like, oh shit, how do I?
Yada yada yada, a bunch of
Yeah,
stuff.
like we
because
gotta,
they get married. Yeah. I was kind of confused about a lot of these things that happen. There is a title card that comes up that says 1 year later that I guess is easy to miss.
Well, yeah, but
there's stuff like there's a shot of him. I think it's directly after he's in the hospital bed where he's listening to a bunch of records.
Yeah, that's like this nightmare montage.
Right. That's so exactly. Yeah. So that's meant to be this. That's meant to be recreation of his
year. That's like that's supposed to be
him trying
a year
to get
of time
back to
is him like, yeah. And it's
laying around.
Well, and again, I mean, just speaking toward like how much shit is compressed at the very end there. Like he goes like kind of fucking insane and we just see like a minute of it probably.
But I guess it's kind of confusing in that little bit as to what's actually happening and what's just in his head. Because it's shot to look like some kind of fantasy sequence.
I mean, but Spike just shoots things like that. Yeah. I think that like it's, you know, it's a literal, like, you know, there's no reason he wouldn't just be laying around with a bunch of music, like spinning spools of tape in his hand,
recovering
and like kind of going nuts. So, you know what I mean? It just looks kind of crazy.
That part I thought made sense. Actually, I thought there was a point, like whenever we're getting to the, and not to skip ahead, because there's another point I want to kind of go back to, but just you talking about it looking a certain type of way. That's how I felt about the montage at the end, whenever we're getting the like, and now we're going to get married and now we're going to have a little junior ringer. And I was like, why does this look different? Like, is this like it's all in his head and he got kicked out on the stoop in front of her house or whatever? But like,
it looks darker. It's not just popping. It
looks weird. And maybe that's trying to say something about like, you're losing like the desaturation, you're losing the jazz in your life or whatever. My other note though, going back to whenever he shows up for Shadow's quintet, he's just like, I want to play with them. Did he not like practice playing a trumpet before he got there? Like, why did he agree to do that? It's like a thing where obviously you see where he's like practicing like playing the notes or whatever, but like, did you try like putting your mouth up against the hole and just trying to blow first before you like agree to a gig? Because it's like his mouth can't close. I've never played brass instrents, so I don't know.
Well, he has punched in the mouth.
Yeah, well, and also he has like the scar on his lip. His jaw got broken.
Beautiful lips.
Maybe you want to try and practice at first before you just go up there on stage.
I think
it's a very movie thing.
It is. It still worked for me because I think
it mostly didn't work because the song that came before it sucked. So maybe that's more.
No, that was tough. It was just Denzel watching her sing for like 4 minutes, and like I'm like, is he supposed to be like regretting not letting her sing? Because he shouldn't regret that at all. But once I think it's maybe he just didn't practice like projecting it for like a full audience or something. You know what I mean? That's what I was thinking is like maybe. You know, he can play in like his room, but when it really comes to like blasting it, he can't anymore. And it's, I mean, this is the central buy-in of the movie is like, are you able to like, do you accept that he just goes straight over to Joie Lee's house and is just like, please be like my mommy
like, right now.
Yeah, like literally he's just like
immediately
he's like, I'm washed, like I'm chopped, like now I'm ready for you.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, okay, like that stinks. Like it stinks.
It's just because he looks like Denzel Washington.
He's just like, I know I always told you that you would be the second most important thing in my life, honey. I have great news.
Number one is gone.
Is gone. So you're next up.
So it's one of those things where it's definitely for the character, it feels super unearned, but I do feel like it also like speaks to some amount of truth of things that happen in real life. You know what I mean? Where it's like, yeah, I think there are people who like end up, you know, when their first option like falls through, they end up getting back with someone. And like, that's not necessarily a great thing, but that is something that happens like quite a bit.
Cue Death Cab for QD Sound of Settling.
Exactly. Like, yeah, exactly. So for that reason, I was able to get past it, because it's like, this isn't necessarily right or good that it's happening, but I think it is maybe speaking toward like a true experience that like people in real life have had. And then very similarly, from there, we get a lightning quick montage of the next like 5 years of their life together, where they have a child, yada yada yada, and
the wedding looks fun.
Well, so
it is very La La Land. You're right.
Yeah.
I was trying to place it. I was like,
dream.
I've seen.
That's what I'm
this
saying.
before.
It looks weirdly different than the rest of the movie. Like, I don't know if it's some of the lighting choices. It's a lot more like in the daytime, and most of this movie is not shot in the daytime at all. So maybe that's why it just feels different.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We see a birth. We see baby coming out of the vagina.
Pop on out.
Now that looks like a birth.
No, apparently
that's got to be real.
It's a real
yeah,
birth.
that's definitely a real birth.
I was like, oh, I just watched a baby.
Yeah,
like,
Spike's not like a prosthetics guy. Like, that's definitely a fucking birth. But so
The
again,
pit wishes.
So again, like the reason that the whole montage, even though it feels super rushed and like kind of insane that the movie is shaped this way, the reason that like it kind of worked for me is just because like Spike is a good filmmaker. And so like what you need to be communicated is communicated in montage pretty effectively. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of montages don't work because if you're shooting a montage, you have to be a really good filmmaker in order to convey every single thing like in a row really fast. And he's a good filmmaker, so he can do that. So it's all communicated, and it's not portrayed as though like every single step in their relationship is like they're not happy in every scene. They're not smiling at each other in every scene. Like, it's a pretty neutral looking relationship where it's like they don't hate each other, they don't really love each other that much. It's just at the end of the day, though, it doesn't feel earned. But it's just like, should it feel earned, or should it just be like, this is just what happens?
And maybe that is kind of where we're supposed to be at, is just like is he actually happy with this life, or is he just settling?
I don't know. I don't think, but that's the thing is,
you don't get enough to know either way.
It doesn't feel like so it doesn't feel like it's like placing a value judgment on what's happening there. It's just sort of like, this is what happened to this guy.
Sometimes shitty dudes can just
it's kind of
look
weird.
at a girl. Yeah.
And so it just structurally, you're just like kind of in shock when the movie ends, because you're like, you just threw so much shit at me, like right at the end there. I think the big thing that needed to happen way earlier was just him getting beat up and losing his lips.
Yes.
That's when he becomes a way more interesting character.
Yes.
Even if you just add like 10 minutes, you'd be better off.
The problem is that this movie's already too long.
No, that's
like,
well,
we needed to do some surgery on here to add a little here, add a little there.
It's the secret agent thing where like, it's cool. Like, the vibe is great in the first half, but we are spending 80 minutes just kind of hanging out. And so if you want to do all this stuff, like, you got to start sooner.
Yeah. Reallocate. What do you think, Adam? This whole
I would have saw like a 3-hour cut. You know what I mean? Because I am having such a great time hanging out. That's why, even though I really don't like the ending and I do think it's a little bit too long, I am like, no, I still really enjoyed this.
Yeah, if we could have fixed the things by making it.
I don't mean to sound like insanely negative. I'm just like, I'm thinking of this movie as like why it's not like a Spike Lee masterpiece, I guess. You know what I mean? But
that's true.
It just feels a little lopsided.
Yeah, but it's just at the end of the day, like, you're watching a movie that looks and is acted perfectly. You know, so
I just love the vibe of Dad Denzel. Like, we only get that tiny little bit, the last 5 minutes. I'm like, man, this is cool. I could have watched a bit more of this. I want Denzel to be Dad. He's got the mustache going.
Man. Maybe I'm just too cynical. I'm just like, this guy doesn't deserve happiness. Like, just let him. Well, he doesn't.
He doesn't.
He doesn't deserve happiness with these women that he has like manipulated and strung along and like kind of destroyed their self-esteem, especially in the case of Indigo. Because at least like Clarke, you know, I think Clarke has like more of an awareness of like, I know what this is.
Oh, well, I mean,
like,
she's a climber. She's trying to use him too.
Yeah. So like, I can respect her. Indigo's just like, she's a school teacher. Like, you're just like,
she's a plant girly.
Fully, yeah.
She's like a fucking millennial. You know, she's very like modern coded.
Also, great pad in Brooklyn, a 2-story in Brooklyn.
Brownstone.
Man,
Good stuff.
Good shit.
No, I mean, yeah, you're right. but I don't know. Again, I was just like, this probably just is like a true reality for a lot of people. It's not necessarily satisfying. It's just as like what happens.
Yeah.
People end up together for like reasons that are not good. You know,
just can't give me that corny ass ending. And then like,
well, no, yeah, complete. It was, I don't know. You're right. Just because like it's just very beginning and very ending or like that. And then the whole rest of the movie feels like a different thing.
Yeah.
So you're right.
I got this like cyclical kind of thing to it at the end with it ending the same way. Like he didn't learn his lesson because I remember the mom says like, oh, you can go out when you finish your lesson, but you're saying he says
no, he says like, your lesson's over now.
Yeah, he lets him go play.
Okay.
So that is like he was like, well, I don't want this kid to be a weird freak like me who's just obsessed with music.
Go play.
The thing is, they should have taken the Whiplash. They should have gone to the school of Whiplash and be like, no, if you want to be great, then you got to fucking be great. And you have to just commit to like, I want to be great. I want to be the best at something.
That's what Timmy's going to have to tell Kardashian.
Well,
He's
so
gonna
that
have to have the Whiplash breakup.
so that
look, maybe we just haven't even gotten
The sit down.
We're not even at the 1/3 mark of Timmy's career yet.
Yeah.
Like he's gotta keep climbing.
yeah, that's what's kind of missing from the movie though, is like I think that you could even still have the same ending if like you said, like you get a little bit more time once he breaks his face of him like realizing, oh, the pursuit of greatness was not worth it.
Right.
And so instead what I need to do is focus on like people and family and like loving my family. And then the end would make so much more sense. Right.
Maybe it's also, and I feel like we keep comparing this movie to 2026 movies, and maybe it's just because the Oscars just happened and we spent like months talking about all these fucking movies. But
no,
like,
tell me more how Spike Lee should ape from fucking Damien Chazelle.
no, well, what I was gonna say.
Why didn't you cast Ryan Gosling in the Denzel role?
No, my thing was that I was gonna say.
Why is it the heroin addict Tobey Maguire in this movie?
Well, I'm trying to wrestle with like, why do I buy Marty Supreme, like coming around to just like, I've lost everything and now I need to just be a dad. And this is what I will channel myself into in the end of Marty Supreme. And I don't buy Denzel at the end of channeling.
No, I'll tell you why. The reason is because the end of Marty Supreme, it ends with just the baby, him seeing
Cut
the
to
baby.
credits.
It doesn't show him being a father at all. There's an ambiguity.
He could be a shitty dad.
He will be.
He's having like an emotional release in that ending, but it doesn't necessarily mean like I'm different now. I'm going to be a good father.
Well, also, a key difference is he's still good at ping pong at the end of the movie. You know what I mean?
This guy can't play the drum.
It's not a choice. It's a choice for Marty to be like, okay, actually, this is what my life is now. This is what's important.
Yeah,
maybe if Kevin O'Leary would have slapped him a little bit harder, he would have like truncated his.
He gets like shot.
All right, let's do some categories before we wrap up. So,
real quick, because we skipped over one thing before we get to the categories. We talked about the dress earlier, fellas. I just have to ask: we're all either like married or in like long-term committed relationships. Have you ever bought your loved one a dress?
Yeah.
You have? Like that she hasn't tried on, that you just like went and you're just like, honey, saw this and I got this for you.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done that.
Good on you. I would never buy Gaia clothes like without her like consenting to those clothes.
Well, I live with this. Our closet's right there. I can find the size. You know what I mean?
There you go. Good on you, man.
Women's clothes fit different though. It's not just like men's where it's just like I wear a 32 waist. Like let me just go get that. Like it's just different body shapes fit different things, and maybe that reflects poorly on me. But I would never have the thought of just like I gotta go out and just like go buy dresses for.
I want to see her in that.
Well, you know who's fucking drowning in pussy is the guy who did that.
Well, and maybe I'm telling on myself like that I'm fucking up here by not buying a dress before.
I think it's the intent that matters, even if it doesn't fit completely correctly. Like she could take it back. I hear the receipts in the bag.
Yeah. Get receipt.
There you go. Okay,
that's a great point. Maybe
I'm like, if you like the dress so much, then why you wouldn't mind if I eat the receipt then?
Maybe that is the reason.
Eat it.
I'm gonna eat the receipt then if you like the dress so much.
That's why she was like, I'm gonna have your baby, because you got me that one dress one time.
I'm noticeably I'm childless right now, so maybe that's the problem.
So let's hit favorite scene. what jumps out as like a clear contender for favorite scene in the movie?
Oh, I spoke about this earlier. I love when she bites his lip, and he's freaking out in the mirror. I just love that because you could see how like, not like OCD he is about these things, because it does matter. It is important, but like he kind of goes a little bit too hard because she's like, I was joking, I'm just playing, and he's like, no, I'm not playing. Get out. Get out of my home.
Yeah,
we're done
we're
having
done.
sex. I don't know if I would stop. What would get me to stop having sex? Like what would offend me enough that I would be like, no.
Be mad about it later.
She's like, the Mets aren't making the pennant this year.
And you're like, I'm
like,
soft.
This is over. Yeah.
No, that's
It's a good
I actually
call.
think that's a great call out for the scene because it's a scene that like it showcases that character perfectly of like how
what's
like
important to him.
he's so sexy, he's like so in the moment, and then you just do like one thing that's like, you can take away everything from me right now. Don't touch this. And she's just like, I guess I just won't kiss you anymore. He's like, maybe you shouldn't. It's like, oh my God. Okay. All right. So that's a great call out. For me, it's the sex three,
the
not
double,
threesome, but
the double love scene.
the triangle that you're having there. The moment, like, as he calls both of them their wrong names, and he's looking back and forth. He's looking up into the left, I think, at Clarke, and then he's looking over into the right at Indigo. And you're only just stuck on Denzel and him just like looking back and forth, and then just like looking like dumb faced into the camera.
That's straight to the camera.
It's so cool. Like that is like, it's such a Spike Lee-ism, but that whole sequence is my favorite part of the movie.
I think that's probably the best scene of the movie. If I'm gonna call out anything else, it's the rap. I think the rap deserves
rap
a
is
shout
sick.
out. I think it's
The
fun.
love.
I think it's cool. I think it's like the one moment where Denzel gets to do something a little bit different in the movie that's in line with kind of what we've come to expect him to do. Obviously, at this time in his career, you didn't really have a lot of stuff like that, but just the overzealous charisma that he can do, the braggadocious sort of, the snark, all of that. He can play that so easily, and that's the one scene where he does it. But
He does great in that scene. This song I thought was whack.
yeah,
I had fun with that.
I had
good
a
energy.
That's just what like rap was in 19.
No, it was not freeform jazz with like ironic rap over top of it. You know what I mean? Like it.
He was trying to be like the first Weird Al, you see.
Drew,
It
favorite
felt
scene.
goofy. Yeah, no, it's the love scene. Yeah. That's cool stuff.
I do want to, talking about that, and I don't think that, I'm not necessarily saying that he composed this, but I do want to once again give the praise to Bill Lee and the music.
Yeah.
It's playing like throughout, like in almost every single scene of this movie, you hear the jazz that is playing, and it's sick. I actually put on the score the
good
other day
stuff.
while I was working after seeing this yesterday. And it's just like great jazz. Just kind of like put on like while
Again,
you're working. It's great.
Reminded
like,
me
really loud.
of Highest to Lowest and why that movie doesn't work.
Yeah.
And how he's trying to recapture that specific choice of having music under so many scenes. And in this movie it works, and in that movie it doesn't.
Did you guys see
Highest to Lowest have been better, or would this movie have been better if the last song that you see Clarke singing, if she's like, and I'm going from highest to lowest, like this song is, and highest to lowest. So it's like,
Did you guys see Red Hook Summer when he made that?
What is that?
It was
a Spike movie?
He made it in 2012. And that is another one that at least like it looked to me when I saw the trailers, like,
interesting.
he's trying to do his old thing. And
The poster looks like
and it flopped
do the
like
right thing.
really hard. Like it did not do well. So I wonder, I don't know, maybe
Retreading.
I don't
he's just
even
on a new chapter.
know
You
about
know what I
this
mean?
movie, Red Hook Summer.
Let's hit a recaging, re-Robin, re-Tommen couch. Where are Nick Cage, Robin Williams, and Hanks and Cruz in
Nick
this
Cage
movie?
I think Nick Cage is easy. Put him in as one of the Turturros. Just like have him in there as
Okay.
one of those guys. You tell
And
me
is
Nick Cage is in
is Robin the other one? Because what else?
They're actually triplets and they're quadruplets, and the Toms are also.
It's even more offensive.
I don't think that Hanks or Cruise belong in the Spike Lee.
No, the magic of this movie is the beautiful Black culture, and just like on full display. You're fully immersed in this world.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's also, you know, speaks toward the magic of Spike's early movies in general. Is he is going back over and over to the same well of like New York based, for the most part, Black actors who just didn't get to be in a ton of other movies.
Yeah. I mean, because the lazy answer is just like, oh, I think Robin Williams should be Butterbean because he just was a comedian.
That's
at that
actually
time.
Sick as fuck.
But like,
R.I.P.
That's actually really that would kind of be great.
This era of Robin Williams is you just put him as stand-up comedian in the stand-up comedian spot.
Also, like Robin could like play a black room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he could play any room.
He was 4 quadrant.
What are the 4 quadrants?
What are the quadrants?
And rank them.
All right, I wanted to introduce a new category.
Could Tom Cruise have been the French lover to Giancarlo? Because that's the only other non-black actor that
kind
we have.
Kind of in his like Lestat vibe.
Yeah,
you know?
Vampire. Yeah. Tom Cruise should be the Denzel character.
I mean, if we're doing like white,
if we're doing cross races, I actually think
Cage is absolutely Snipes.
Oh,
he could cook that role.
I don't want to just cast white guys in black people's roles, but I do think Cruise could do the lead, and Cage as the Snipes role would actually be it would be different because it'd be a little Damien Chazelle. It would be the Damien Chazelle version of this movie of like, what if the white people could save jazz?
Well, Cruise is famously short, so him as giant kind of makes sense to me.
Okay,
a little bit.
I like this.
Also, it's something a little different from. I don't know.
I don't know if I buy Cruise. Like, I don't think he knows how gambling works. Again, I don't know if Giant knows how gambling works, so maybe it tracks.
Cruise like doesn't play roles where he's like bad at stuff.
Right.
He's only ever good.
He would be an amazing gambler.
He's only ever skilled at things. I don't know. I could see maybe him being, I don't know. It's tough. Maybe he could be the Denzel role and Cage could be the Snipes role if you don't height adjust at all. And so like, because you have to believe that Cage is like actually
you don't bloom
a contender. And the only way you do that is if, you know, is if he like looks like he's like looming. Right. He's like a foot taller. That makes sense.
I don't think Tom Hanks could fit. I actually think Tom Hanks is the hardest.
Tom Hanks has no place. Get him out of here.
I really don't think that there's anywhere or any version of Tom Hanks.
What if he's the bookie?
Christ.
So you're saying that. I'm going to let you.
I'm saying what if.
If you want.
I'm not saying he should be.
If you want the club owners to be like definitely anti-Semitic, let him do a voice.
Oh, yeah. Knock, knock. You owe us.
He's white.
All right. I wanted to introduce a new category, best fit. There's a lot of really good fits here.
This is
a really good category to have in here. We're going to have to retroactively give this to Glory too.
I don't know.
I don't think we have to do
I actually don't think we have to do
I actually think I'm going to say something brave here. I think that the Union soldiers.
Yeah. When they get their new uniform.
Yeah. The Blues. I think the Blues looked really good on them.
Not the rebel Confederate. You're not going to give them the best fits.
So we're being objective here. Fashion first.
What are some
if listen, the Nazis were wearing Hugo Boss. We can't be objective about military fashion. They were fitted.
That's true. That's true. These were fitted.
I'm gonna have to redo my Films for Breakfast episode on Schindler's List and talk strictly about the
fits.
Yeah. What were the costume design choices on that set? How did they make sure to have facsimile?
Okay, so what are the nominees here for best fits?
You could nominate every single thing that Spike Lee wears.
The problem is though, like the fits he's wearing throughout the movie are like goofy. Like it doesn't. He
don't buy them.
Yeah, he's so small. You know what I mean? That he's wearing like shoulder pads and it just
big hat. It looks colorful.
Silly. Yeah,
the big tie. Patterns.
It has to be the bike scene.
Okay, you called out the lesbian bike scene. Yes. Mm-hmm. Might I nominate just Denzel in a white tank top with the trumpet?
That's just you being horny.
Here's the thing. it's not going to be the last time that we see just Denzel in a white tank top either.
How about the
That's
scene where
literally the
Denzel's
cover.
naked?
That's
Best
literally
fit.
the cover of a Devil in a Blue Dress on Criterion.
best
It's just
fit.
that.
Best fit's just titties.
It is.
No, I'm lesbian bike ride is
That's
is
a really good one.
What about the black hat with the New York? Is it the Mets?
It's
yeah,
Giants.
like him
It's
in
Giants.
the
It's the Giants.
in the
I mean,
Giants
That's
there.
got to be my answer. I mean, obviously, I'm a jersey
Yeah.
collector. I love a good jersey that, like, first of all, I hate a jersey with no number on the back or no name. That just shows that you're not committed.
Or what
You know
about
I
a
mean?
custom?
I can handle because I have a Moneyball one. I have athletics.
That's
Moneyball.
sick.
That's
That's
fair.
really cool.
I saw a guy when I was at the Magic Lakers game. He had a custom Lakers jersey where the number was like 100 and the name on it was like Mick Swagger or something. Yeah, I almost took a picture. I was like disgusted. Like,
Well, that's fun too. About what I like about his uniform or outfit specifically is that, like, you know, what your favorite player, what player you're repping kind of says something about you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The fact that it is Willie Mays of all people, who could be considered like the black basketball or baseball GOAT. I mean, I guess Hank Aaron has more home runs, but Willie Mays was the better all around player. Was Babe Ruth black? I know that's a conspiracy to throw it out there.
They're like, the tape was black and white. There's no way for us to tell.
But no, I'm kidding. But no, I do love that. So the commitment to the number, and then I knew, you know, I'm like, oh, that's Willie Mays. You know what I mean? So I really love that, and I love the black and white hat.
he also, I mean,
We-
Denzel just
team.
looks sick in a baseball
Yeah.
shirt.
Yeah.
and hat. Like
They're
he
cool.
looks absolutely dope.
I think if we asked Spike Lee, that would be his answer for the best fit. Was
Yeah.
that just because you know that was the thing that he cared the most about
Yeah.
putting in there?
So the other reason
Are not going to give any fits that Left Hand is rocking with?
you tell me what is he got?
I don't know. I really like the monocle look that he has when we're. And another thing, we skipped over. We were talking about the best scenes of the movie, but that one dressing room scene when he shows up late. And the camera is just fixed to the mirror of Left Hand, and it's
awesome.
It's all the guys just like ragging on him.
It's so good.
That's such a great moment that I was like, I just want to live like where it's just these four guys just all in a room, just like ragging on each other.
Well, so
Like,
that's
feels great.
Guys,
that also speaks to, like, you know, we might have, like, I might have issue with this movie feeling bloated and like being in like the hang stage for too long, but also like Spike Lee writes so much interesting stuff about like really like intersectional racial conversations. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like the politics of like having a white GF, you know what I mean? Like as a black man, that are like really interesting and also feel very real. Like the fact that he's willing to let all the actors improvise that scene, you know, means that it rings like toward a lot of truth. The fact that you think that's his best fit is the one that like
No,
he's clearly given by a white chick is
I don't think that's the best fit. I just found a photo of him at one point in that scene when he is smoking a cigarette, but he has the little cigarette holder. We should bring back cigarette holders. Like I think that is a thing that we should bring back.
But that-
I shouldn't have to touch it. You know?
Yeah.
yeah.
Just
What am I gonna do? Then my fingers are gonna.
what about a vape holder?
Yeah, it holds my jewel. Can still jewel.
That'd be really funny.
Wait, Adam, you said Giants. I was talking about this hat. Isn't this the Mets?
No,
No,
I thought it was
no.
at first, but no, that is New York Giants.
That looks just like the Mets.
Yeah, but Mets would be more blue. And if it was,
Yeah.
But the curvature on the Y.
you're right. You're exactly, because I thought the same
That's
thing.
very
looked at-
misleading.
But he said the Mets took some of the Giants
Yeah, that's
like
pretty much,
branding.
It's the Giants one is more thick
Okay.
NY, but New York, the Mets are a little bit more like.
There's a lot of
And,
lore here that just goes right over my head.
But also the black Mets hat has a lot of blue in it. It's like blue with a little bit an accent of orange.
Okay.
So yeah, it is definitely Giant. Trust me, I wanted it so bad to be Mets. I watch every movie, and if like there's, I can tell
Yeah.
how they feel about the Mets in the movie. Like
What's a movie where they like the Mets?
Tom Holland Spider-Man is a Mets fan. I whipped that one out a lot.
Canonically, like he
yeah,
speaks it.
Well, no, he has Mets stuff in his room, but
Okay.
also Spider-Man's definitely a Mets fan over a Yankees fan. He's the underdog. He would not
Okay.
be the big domineering corporate big business team.
Right, right.
Superman, Yankees fan.
The new movie and Brand New Day, he's going to be a Jets fan.
Yeah.
That's where this is headed.
Wow.
You know?
God, he's gonna be just like, no. Here's the thing. That's worse than your friends not knowing.
The
just being stuck with being the fucking Jets.
The
fan.
Jets are like culturally like unclaimable.
Well, it
Yeah.
fits
They're
with the
so
it fits with the
You
vibe
were born
for the
into
character.
it, and nobody's just like actively like,
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna pick up the Jets.
Are you a Jet, Adam?
No, weirdly enough, I'm a New York Giants fan.
Thank God.
that's
Giants
my-
Mets is more rare though.
I do understand that. I was 4 years old. My dad said, these are the teams you like. Okay. And thank God, because I
Yeah,
do not want
holy
to be a Jets fan.
Fuck.
Good shit.
Yeah.
I got to see my quarterback beat the GOAT twice. And no offense. Well, Tom Brady's the GOAT and Bill Belichick is the GOAT.
No, absolutely. But the fact that
Only a
that
little
fucking
bit better,
dork
but it's
beat them
okay.
twice is so sick.
Nick Foles
Yeah.
did it once. That was an accident.
He only got beat by dorks.
Fucking dweebs. Yeah. Jared Goff was just too hot. He never stood a chance against Brady. I did want to give a shout out because I do think that for the most part, the fits. Sorry, we're still doing a podcast on No Better Blues. I do think that most of the fits that Giant is rocking are bad, but his fit that he
That
has
is such a good one. Yeah.
specifically
that
in this
pattern
one sequence where
Yeah.
whenever there's the
Burgundy.
two women that come in with the matching dresses,
Yeah.
it is for the audience, it is a like red floral undershirt with like white flowers, some like kind of tannish like center where the buttons are coming together, and then like a red and black checkered coat on top with the black hat.
Wow.
It's a great fit.
He
Like
does-
that is
the-
tremendous.
You notice him. Yeah.
The undershirts are cool. It's just jarring to see shoulder pads nowadays because they're just so gone. But,
There's,
like,
I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah,
do see how
he's
wide
out.
he
That
is.
is-
yeah, it's shoulder pads to an
Yeah.
extent that like it looks like he's wearing a fat suit.
Well,
you know?
Giant looks like a guy from like the 60s or 70s.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's like a zoot suit.
I did want to
Just-
call out one more Giancarlo look. It's like a striped black and white, almost like a referee look that he has.
That's the most French look that he has throughout the entire movie.
Mhm.
It's really good.
So I mean, the reason that the bike fits have to win also is because they're like could absolutely just be worn now, like, and they'd fit perfectly.
In Brooklyn.
Like the sweater Denzel's wearing is like cable knit black sweater.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that combined with the bandana, again, just incredible lesbian.
I kind of want to wear that.
One other point on that about like what you could wear now. I pointed it out whenever I was watching this live because it's 1990. Denzel now has a kid in the future. So we're presuming it's about 2000, 2002.
Like,
No,
I mean,
maybe
no,
mid-90s.
yeah, like, but every
the kid's like 8.
Yeah, but
No.
but let's say this takes
I
place in the
think-
80s.
I think he's 5. He looks
5?
He looks like he's 5. I think it's mid-90s. Every single kid is wearing neon tracksuits.
No, that's the thing where I'm
Yeah.
just like, kids weren't wearing that at this point in time in history. Like
It's a
we're
prediction.
forecasting forward.
Yeah, it's a
Neon
prediction.
did not stick the way that they thought.
They look like the cast of like Zoom in the 90s. It's
Those are all great
crazy.
One more call out. Sorry, the giant fit from the dining table with the bookie. This shirt, I want this shirt.
Oh,
That's a great fit.
Great
See,
shirt.
no shoulder pads. He looks like a normal man.
Yeah. Well, he's hurting here because he knows he's about to lose
Yeah.
a lot of money.
Yeah.
Also, his hair is sick.
Ernest, you're gonna have to take all of these photos for the podcast and just
Yeah, I'll superimpose them. Okay, I don't know if we did we decide on categories. We're kind of feeling out the categories as we go.
so. I don't
We
know
could
if
do
we're gonna
like
give the-
best Denzel moment.
Well, no.
maybe.
Well, so the classic one is just like the intensity of Denzel.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
Like how
is
many
it-
Denzels out of
is it
yeah.
intensity? Intensity is just a factor.
The quality is always going to be good.
No.
We can't rate that.
I'm not judging quality. I'm talking about like how Denzel is this because I actually don't think. I think it's probably like a 3.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I say why.
No, that's what I'm saying.
'Cause
This is not.
I'm with you on
I
that.
don't think it does have some intensity. I don't think it has all the charisma that it needs. He has charisma in the small moments, but not in the moments where I buy like his happiness at the end.
Mhm.
Like I don't.
Also,
I
you
need
don't
it
want
come
him
all
to
the
be
way around.
happy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like if it has the full Denzel is I'm like, it's training day. It's like
Yeah.
I don't care that you were breaking the law. Like I'm still willing to fucking go down with the ship right now. Like that's a full Denzel.
I think this was him sort of approaching the character like holistically and being like, this guy is a little weird. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's playing this character right.
He's playing it like it's a real person.
Yeah, he's
Exists.
like this guy is like a little bit like spectrumy in how like obsessed he is with his craft.
Mhm.
He can't be so big and bombastic and lovable in a way that like Denzel is absolutely capable of doing. So you're right. I think it's low octane Denzel intensity, like amount of Denzel, right?
As opposed to highest, do you think it's lowest?
Ooh.
Whoa.
I didn't watch
Man,
it.
this is the second podcast of the series, so we're gonna have to like fight off the highest to lowest jokes. And
Well, I mean,
bits.
it's a Spike Lee movie.
Unfortunately,
so-
we have 4 more of those that we're doing in this series. So
that is a good point.
Yeah,
That is a good point.
It's good.
Well, no, we decided we are not Inside Man.
Oh shit! So we're only
Yeah.
doing 3 then,
Right.
'Cause We're not.
And this
doing
is one
highest
of
to
them.
lowest. Okay. All right. So we're good.
I was
Let's get them all out then.
I was very interested in this movie though because it's him playing a very different kind of character than what he's most famous for.
Yeah.
And he does a really good job of it. It's just different than what we know him to do, right?
Yeah. I agree.
What do you think, Adam? What would you score this on?
In this arbitrary system and rankings that makes no sense. to anyone.
So the scale is how Denzel is in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah. Also,
However you
just like,
define that.
You know, did it meet your expectations of what you want out of him? Right. I feel like that's part of it too.
That's a good question. I would say yes. I'm very impressed with how he's able to pull off like the musical scene. Like that's the very first thing that you read about is when you research this movie is how much he put into it. And he didn't even think that he was even any good at it at all. But like I said, I don't know anything about it and it looked good to me, I think it's a very good performance. It's not something that I'm nominating. It's not something that I'm holding in a high regard in regards to the rest of his career. But I think it's a very good performance. I definitely agree with what you guys are saying. He's just kind of playing a regular guy, but he's even cooler because he's Denzel.
Yeah. What about Spike? Like, how much of a Spike completist are you, and where does this fall on what you've seen?
It's funny. That's why I threw on Chirac because I was like, I need to see all the Spike Lee movies. I need to really get through all of them. I definitely like Inside Man, Black Klansman, the Netflix one that he did, Five Bloods, Do the Right
Oh,
Thing,
that is right.
obviously.
My Bloods is sick.
Yeah, and then
Doesn't get enough
25th
love.
hour.
I actually just recently watched that for the first time. I thought that was good. There's that classic, like
It's the talking in the
no
mirror
one's
scene.
a hater like Spike Lee is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the whole like I hate this, I hate that, I hate this about New York.
Boston sucks.
Yeah.
Speaking of
25th hour is that's like for some reason to me, even like he has so many New York movies, but that's a movie that almost feels the most New York at its car, mostly because it's like a 9/11 movie. Like it is a movie that's
still need to
directly
see it.
about 9/11, like that he made in the aftermath of that. But it feels like it captures the core of New York, of like this fuck you attitude that runs through everybody that's in New York that I do love.
But yeah, to answer your question on the Denzel scale, I'm going to go with a 6, where it ranks in terms of how I feel about Denzel movies pretty decently high, because I think a lot of them I'm really not like crazy about. But I still do need to see like a lot more. I think like Pelican Brief is a pretty big blind spot for me. Gloria,
yeah.
you guys mentioned that. I haven't even seen Gloria yet.
I think this is better than Glory.
I mean,
This is
I
wait,
promise I like
Gloria-
Gloria.
yeah, no.
I don't think Glory's very
I don't
good.
like
But
movies
I will
like that.
say Denzel has these moments in Glory that he doesn't have here.
Well,
this is a very different
he
use.
cranks up the charisma.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just like if you want to see Denzel in like what was like a normal movie back then,
and a side
and like
character.
how much he like, but like the amount that he's able to like hijack
Yeah.
that movie just playing like a side character role, it's like holy fuck, like yeah, no, he's ready to go, like he's a star.
Mm,
It's fun to watch from that lens.
mm.
I'm
Um,
assuming your 6 was out of 10. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, 6
yeah.
out of 10.
Yeah.
Whole number.
You're like 6 out of 5.
1 actually.
Speaking toward Spike being like a great hater,
Mhm.
my favorite Spike moment ever is like I think it was the Oscars the year Black Klansman came out. Yeah, when he's getting interviewed and like the interviewer's like, so what do you think about Green Book? And he's like, so you're British, right? They're like, yeah, and he's like, well, it wasn't my cup of tea. and then he like prances around like he's a little.
Not my cup of tea.
He's so cool, man.
Great moment. Yeah.
Another little anecdote about this movie. I was really happy to get this one off of my watch list because we go to the screenings a lot at the AMC and they feature movies all around the thing. And I'm pretty sure Mo Better Blues is one of the ones that's featured on the wall. And it's usually
it's on the wall.
Yeah.
I always look at that and I'm like, I don't know a lot of these.
Yeah, I know. So it's like filling in my blind spots. So I'm really happy about the opportunity to watch that movie and honestly,
complete the wall.
I did really, really like it. I really enjoy this movie. Anything with Spike Lee and Denzel, that's like such a winning combo.
It has such a good floor to it, is the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it is like just such a, you're in safe hands.
Yeah, to the extent that my problems feel like nitpicks, you know what I mean? Because I really vibed watching this movie. I really had a good time.
Yeah,
we're really lucky, you know.
This is it's one of those where like the review almost sounds negative just because you're trying to almost figure out why it's not perfect, you know. But it's like, no, this is still a good movie that's worth your time. Like there's the peaks of it are just like perfect film.
The visuals, right? We harped on the double love scene,
the visuals and the performances. It's just the story itself. You can have, there are qualms to be had, but like there are going to be moments that are not, you haven't seen anything like it.
Exactly. Just seeing Denzel in a Spike Lee film shot by Ernest Dickerson, like just the way this movie looks and having Denzel in the shot for so much of the runtime, you're gonna have a good time. So
Ebert, you guys
for it.
3 out of 4 stars, which I think is that's kind of exactly what I would give it on Ebert's scale.
Yeah.
3 out of 4, right? He said it suffers a little from the second novel syndrome.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The pressure on an artist to follow up a great triumph, but it's a logical film to come at this point in Spike's career since it's about the time and career pressures on a young artist. That's really So Ebert dropped lines in his reviews when he was like at his peak that are like smarter than anything I've ever read in my life.
The pro.
Yeah, without any like pretense and like big words. He just got movies.
Yeah.
He said this is really interesting to me, actually, because at the end of the movie he's talking about, he says Lee avoids the usual formulas in that scene. He's talking about the scene where Bleek can't play the trumpet because it's like, oh yeah, this isn't a triumphant comeback. So it subverts what you might think. And it's like, oh my God, he's washed. So he subverts those formulas only to surprise us again with an epilogue, which mirrors the prologue. This time, though, years have passed and Bleek's own son is practicing the trumpet. The symmetry of this ending feels awkward. So he agrees, especially since there seems to be an act missing. Exactly. How did Bleek get from where he was to where he is in the final scene?
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yada, yada.
If there's one thing to like critique about the whole movie, that's
the biggest thing to fix.
Yeah.
Well, also I like what you brought up about like the context of this movie within his career. Real quick, what was the movie that Spike did right after this movie? Was it Jungle Fever?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, because you mentioned earlier about the real life timeline in this movie is that he was writing this movie while he was making Do the Right Thing. So I think it's kind of unfair obviously we're going to put the expectation like, oh, this is your follow-up. This is your follow-up.
Right.
But he hadn't experienced all of the success of Do the Right Thing before making this movie.
Exactly.
So he is still, in a lot of ways, still that same guy who made Do the Right Thing. Whereas I feel like...
But it hadn't been received by the world yet.
Yeah, they weren't stuck in his stock yet.
Yeah.
Do you know when they started producing this movie? I knew it was written during Do the Right Thing, but when they actually like started...
There's a shot that has... there's a shot in it that has a poster in the background
89.
of Do the Right Thing. Did you notice that?
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if it's like a movie theater. It's an exterior shot. And it has
it's shot September to December of 89.
So it was, to that point, it's Do the Right Thing had like started to get some buzz of like, holy shit, this is a great thing. But it hasn't like permeated the masses.
Yeah.
Well, also it was like a cult situation, right? Because it didn't win Best Picture.
No.
Was it not nominated?
It wasn't nominated, just screenplay.
Yeah, just screenplay.
I think that's the only nomination that it got.
I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
That's actually not the only nomination it got. It also got an acting nomination.
Oh, Danny Aiello.
By Danny Aiello.
Oh my God, that's like Adam Driver getting nominated.
It's so it's really that is the funniest thing about Do the Right Thing is that the one acting nomination went to Danny Aiello. It's
Which
like
Which he is great.
they were so close, but just like whoo, right over their heads.
Yeah, that
They
is
almost got it.
tough.
Almost got
And then
it.
best
They
picture
burned his
goes
pizza
to we didn't look at the Oscars for this year. This was
90. That was Dances with Wolves.
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Great movie.
I didn't look in case you were gonna do a little.
Uh,
You know what? That is a great movie.
Yeah.
I think that this is the Goodfellas year, and so everybody just is like, fucking Dances with Wolves over Goodfellas, and like that's a mistake.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
really the bigger mistake is Kevin Costner over Scorsese. Like I actually think that is more of a travesty than Dances winning Best Picture over Goodfellas, because it's like, how the fuck do you see Goodfellas and not be like, that's
Yeah.
the most immaculately directed movie of the last like 10 years?
Yeah.
But
This
like
movie
that.
didn't get nominated for anything.
No,
Zero.
no,
Jam.
anything in there.
it's really a bummer because today, you know, the Oscars, to their credit, have gotten better at recognizing like newer filmmakers to an extent, and then B, just black filmmakers. But like if someone were to come around with this amount of sauce nowadays, I feel like they would get a little more recognition.
Yeah.
Like
You could-
off the rip.
You could easily
like watching
throw-
this, you're like, oh yeah, no one's ever done that with a camera.
Yeah.
like
You could easily throw this at least best cinematography,
yeah.
maybe
Costume design.
editing, score,
Yeah.
costume.
Yeah.
Like this, yeah, and this is like 3 steps below Do the Right Thing, and it still could get a couple nods.
I do think that like
Wesley Snipes
Spike-
supporting.
Sound.
and I think that this happened a lot with filmmakers back then, is like you were almost punished if you were a more prolific filmmaker. And like it was a thing where it's like, if you are a 4-actor director, it's like, no, we'll just catch you on the next one. Like that was kind of the sentiment that was felt there, where it's like, you know, there's still a little bit of that even now, where it's like Christopher Nolan isn't putting out a movie every year. It's like we have to only honor the big ones. I think the exception of this is probably like Yorgos, because the Academy is just like can't fucking stop
Yeah, Yorgos
giving Yorgos
yeah,
nominations.
and then
it's like,
PTA they don't.
Yeah.
When
yeah, but
he
PTA
takes
is
a couple
another one where
years.
it's like 3 to 5 years in between movies.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like he's
yeah.
not putting them out every single
Yeah.
year.
You're right though. That makes sense. But so I don't know is it the one right after his next after Jungle Fever that he does Malcolm X?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
crazy.
And we're going to cover them.
Crazy.
All right. Well, we can wrap it up there. Thank you all for listening. Please let us know your thoughts on Mo Better Blues. Check out WeBottomMike.net to get every episode in your inbox, and join the Discord at patreon.com/WeBottomMike. Adam, thank you so much for coming on. Any parting words, anything you want to plug? We'll give you the floor here.
Oh, I just want to say again, thank you guys so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity. I drove all the way up here for you. You know, that's how much I enjoy, seeing you guys and talking to you here.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for, giving me the opportunity to open myself up to a new movie that I hadn't seen before. You know what I mean? We're really lucky. There's a lot of great movies out there. The Under the Wire movies. Art waits for you, and art waited for me in this scenario. I am the managing editor of Disappointment Media. The written word lives on. We do movie reviews as well. So check me out on disappointmentmedia.com. I would also like to shout out the Mets. Let's go Mets. Here's to another great year.
Yeah. Great website. Any predictions for the Mets this season that you want to dole out right now? And you will be held to.
Yes.
Because
Okay.
I'm on Kalshi right now. I'm taking your advice. So
I think we're taking home the National League Rookie of the Year in one form or another. It's either going to be Nolan McLean or Carson Benj. I do believe that we are playoff bound this year. Yeah, other than that, though, I think that the Dodgers will win everything because they're the best team
they
I've ever
probably
seen in
will.
my life. Yeah.
It's not even fair, I guess.
So I
Yeah.
have stopped watching baseball for now about a decade, but I did grow up as a Braves fan.
I hate
So
you.
I'm sorry. for that.
Chipper
Once
Jones.
If you, Chipper Jones,
Mike,
Ansel, like that was,
my aunt and my uncle had a dog named Chipper Jones, full like Chipper Jones. Like they would call it, hey, Chipper Jones, come here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Crazy.
The Schmaltz, Roger or Greg Maddox, like that was
Glavine, yeah.
yeah, that was kind of
Not a Red Sox guy?
No, I just I went to Braves games
Oh,
like as a
okay.
kid, so that was just a team that
Turner?
like I kind of
Hmm.
followed as much as I can. To be honest, they were pretty bad
Yeah.
most of my childhood, so the
the
tickets to
2000s,
games
yeah.
were always very cheap.
You
so
just missed the hype in the 90s. You guys were
I
really
know.
good in the 90s.
Yeah, unfortunately,
See, we were
I was
never
like
good.
I was a little embryo then, so like it wasn't quite stewing. That point.
Quick pivot, Adam.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on K-pop Demon Hunters?
I love K-pop Demon Hunters. It was my second favorite movie of the year. We dressed up like it for Halloween.
That's sick.
I love it. I was never into K-pop before, which is one thing that impressed me so much. But the concept of like a group of friends who beat up the bad guys by singing killer tunes was awesome to me.
Behind One Battle.
No, Behind Weapons was my number one of last
Hell
year.
yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Ahead of One Battle.
Yeah.
Correct yourself.
Since then, I've watched like One Battle like 3 times, and I've stopped watching K-pop Demon Hunters because I've seen it too many times.
I was gonna on your letterbox, like I was just looking at like all the people I follow who have reviewed the movie, and you gave it 5 stars, and so I clicked on it to see what your review was. But you know the thing on Letterboxd where if you have logged it multiple times, it doesn't show you just that review. It shows you all the activity, and you'd watched it like 10 times.
Good on you.
I will say,
And giving it 5 stars every time.
First, when I made my list, I'd probably say Wake Up Dead Man at this point. I love Father Judd.
Let's go.
Like in my everyday life, I'll be like, what would Father Judd do?
Yeah.
And so I'm obsessed with that. But like I said, I've watched One Battle a million times since then. It was a wonderful year last year. We are so
Great
lucky.
stuff.
It was incredible.
Dude,
year.
I cried seeing Paul Thomas Anderson win an Oscar.
Yeah.
I was overcome with emotion. I cried like a baby.
He's so due, incredibly due.
I do hope that since then you haven't tried to give K-pop a go, like as a music genre, because it's like it's not the same. It's worse than what you get in K-pop Demon Hunters.
I was surprised how much K-pop I already had.
Oh,
Like I was like, I just thought that was a radio song, and then
Wow.
it was a K-pop song. No, it's
You
good.
were
It's
into
fun. Like we almost went to a Twice concert, but it's so expensive.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there's that. Yeah.
Well, thanks again, man. We'll have you on again soon, I hope. But yeah, you got 2 on the notch here between this and Born on the 4th. So I'm sure the next one will be furthering the quality because you're on a run. So
Thank you.
next up, it is Mississippi Masala.
Nice.
Next up on the Denzel series. Also, we have seen Nirvana the band, the show, the movie.
Yeah.
And we will be talking about it as well as Project Hail Mary.
Yeah.
So stick around for that.
Gotta get full pods.
See you on the other side.
Also, Florida Film Festival coming right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
Right around the
Mere
corner.
weeks
Be here
weeks
before we
away.
go. So, yeah.
So stick around. We'll see you then. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.